Chapter 230, 3000 Thunder Movement. So that's how it is. Only then did Lu Yin understand why there were demon beasts in every county, finally getting a clear explanation from Lu Zhong. Upon careful thought, it indeed seemed to be the case. An overly comfortable environment could easily make some people forget the current predicament of Morijin, and only by facing various pressures could it better stimulate a sense of crisis in people's hearts. Brother Lu Yin, what do you plan to do next? Seeming to realize that his question might be inappropriate, Lu Zhong quickly added another sentence. Before he left, Commander Wang asked me to tell Brother Lu a message, that he will report your merits truthfully, and at that time, you should receive some substantial rewards. Upon hearing this, Lu Yin was somewhat moved. However, he knew that it might not be so simple and glanced at Lu Zhong, who seemed hesitant to speak, and asked, "Is there any hidden problem behind this?" Because Brother Lu Yin is not a member of the Black Tiger Army, the procedures are a bit troublesome and will take a longer time. As he said this, his eyes shifted. Commander Wang said that if Brother Lu Yin is willing to join the Black Tiger Army, everything will become simpler, and he also promises that he will try to get you a commander's position. After saying this, he looked at Lu Yun expectantly. Lu Yun's talent and strength were undeniably clear. If he were to join the Black Tiger Army, it would undoubtedly add strength to their ranks. One won't join the Black Tiger Army. I won't be staying in Spirit Martial Prefecture for too long. Without much thought, Lu Yun decisively refused. The Black Tiger Army was the strongest force in Spirit Martial Prefecture, and if Lu Yun were to join them, his strength and progress would soon make him a high-ranking member within the Black Tiger Army. But as he just said, he was not destined to stay in Spirit Martial Prefecture for long, so joining the Black Tiger Army would be meaningless. Lu Zhong was slightly disappointed and sighed. Before, Commander Wang had already said that the possibility of you joining the Black Tiger Army was not great, but I still wanted to give it a try. It seems that one was wishful thinking. However, Brother Lu, you were already able to contend with a 5th-rank demon beast, and now your strength has made a breakthrough. I beg you to rush to help the great wilderness major city. Lu Yun nodded. I will go to the great wilderness major city, but before that, I have other things to do, so I will take my leave first. With a salute, Lu Yun bid farewell and left. Lu Zhong stood in place, calming his emotions for a while, before glancing at the tavern again and leaving with 2 members of the Black Tiger Army. This time he resolved the crisis in Cloudwater County, but it did not mean that all the future troubles were eliminated. Lu Yun bought a bunch of spirit herbs and hurried towards Spirit Creek Village. What used to take almost half a day now only took a little over an hour. Spirit Creek Village was still quiet and peaceful without any disturbances. Upon entering the village, he saw a group of people led by Lu Tianhu. Lu Yin, you're back. I just happened to pass by, so one came to take a look. As he spoke, Lu Yin's eyes fell on the people behind Lu Tianhu, who were both male and female, all of them very young. They were not of age, their steps were unsteady, and their vitality was weak, without any martial arts foundation. However, this was quite normal, as these boys and girls were very young and had not yet begun to learn martial arts. The best age to practice martial arts is around 8 or 9, and Lu Yin was quite aware of this. If the body is not fully developed, practicing martial arts too early will only damage the body and harm its foundation. Did you take Uncle Meng's job? Haha, no. There are now more people in the village, and more people need to practice martial arts, and Uncle Meng can't handle it all by himself, so I'm helping out. All right, you can go ahead with your work. I have to leave. Take care. With a slight smile, Lu Yun stepped away. However, before leaving, he took another look at these young boys and girls. At a rough glance, there were more than 20 of these young martial arts practitioners, quite a large number. He wasn't sure, however, how many of these 20-plus people would eventually achieve the Meridian Passage realm. As for the true Qi realm, honestly speaking, Lu Yin didn't hold high expectations for that. To advance to the true Qi realm, one must have at least a level 2 innate talent. As for those with a 1-star innate talent, it would be almost impossible without experiencing life and death struggles. After Lu Yin left, someone in the team couldn't help but ask, "Brother Tianhu, who is that just now? He doesn't seem to be much older than us." On hearing this, the smile on Lu Tianhe's face disappeared and became somewhat complicated, making him look somewhat desolate. Seeing this, the others became even more curious, as Lu Tianhu was usually optimistic and open-minded, with a constant smile on his face when instructing them. They didn't know why such a sunny brother Tianhu would suddenly change like this. Just as everyone was puzzled, Lu Tianhe's quiet voice rang out. 2 years ago, a group of bandits attacked Cloudwater County, and Uncle Meng, deputy village chief, and old village head tried their best to fight them off, but couldn't succeed. Just when Spirit Creek Village was about to be destroyed, a man appeared out of nowhere. With his own strength, he killed nearly 100 elite bandits and ultimately saved the entire Spirit Creek Village. As he said this, the complexity in his eyes disappeared, and a smile reappeared on his face. "I believe some of you should know who he is." Upon hearing this, apart from a few people, most of the others were confused. The near disaster that occurred 2 years ago did not bring much catastrophe to Spirit Creek Village, and these children did not feel the danger. They only occasionally heard their elders mention it, and the specific details were not well known. Chapter 231 3000 Thunder Movement 3 Brother Tianhu. Did you say that young man just now is our Spirit Creek Village's most amazing prodigy, Lu Yin, who once saved the villagers of Spirit Creek Village from the bandits' blades? A rather calm and composed-looking youngster couldn't keep his face straight any longer as he asked out loud. His parents often mentioned Lu Yin, and he had frequently heard about the events from 2 years ago as well. Others might not know who Lu Yin was, but his name was well known to them. "It seems you have some knowledge." "That's right, he is Lu Yin, the most amazing prodigy of our Spirit Creek Village, and also our village's hero." Lu Tianhu glanced at the youth, his gaze softening a great deal. Compared to other forgetful people, he preferred those who remember the past. Receiving Lu Tianhe's praise, the young man felt a bit awkward, but quickly recovered. He turned back to look at Lu Yun's retreating figure, but he had already disappeared. "Among you, perhaps some will leave Spirit Creek Village and become powerful martial artists in the future, but I hope you will not forget that this place is your root and the pure land where you grew up. When this pure land is in crisis, one hope you can put aside all other matters and come to help overcome the difficulties, just like Lu Yin did 2 years ago when he saved Spirit Creek Village." Even after walking quite a distance, Lu Yin could still hear Lu Tianhe's voice and couldn't help but reveal a bitter smile on his face. If they knew the disaster 2 years ago was caused by him. Soon, Lu Yin arrived at the small courtyard, which he remembered, but also found somewhat unfamiliar. Has it been expanded and renovated? When he left back then, he had left behind some silver taels. It seemed his eldest brother and sister had used that money to expand the house on the original foundation. The courtyard gate was tightly closed. After knocking several times and still no one answering, Lu Yin vaulted in. Comparing the layout of the rooms to before, besides the traces of renovation in the main room, there were also 2 separate wing rooms added on both left and right sides. Seeing that no one was around, and the door was tightly shut, Lu Yin immediately took out his alchemy furnace and the spirit herbs he purchased in the county town, and began refining pills in the courtyard. As evening approached, eldest brother Lu He and elder sister Lu Yu returned almost at the same time. Upon opening the door and seeing Lu Yin refining pills in the courtyard, they both were shocked, and then quickly broke into smiles. "Xiaoyan!" "Eldest brother, eldest sister, please wait a moment." Lu Yin looked up at the two, smiled faintly, and continued to manipulate the spiritual fire to refine his pills. "All right, then, I'll go cook." Lu Yu smiled sweetly, hung the clothes in the basin in the courtyard, then went into the kitchen to get busy. As for Lu He went to another corner of the courtyard to practice his saber technique. Over the 2 years, his cultivation had remained at the peak of the body T-empering realm. But the black tiger saber technique that Lu Yin taught him had already been refined to the realm of small achievement. It was evident that he had spent a lot of time on his saber skills. When it was nearly dark, Lu Yin finally finished refining all the pills. "Eldest brother, come here for a moment." Lu He, who was still practicing his saber, was interrupted by Lu Yun's call. My cultivation is too low. After just a few swings, I'm already reaching my limit." Lu He put down the saber in his hands, picked up a towel, and wiped the sweat from his body. See, you've been at the peak of the body tempering realm for quite some time now. Without external help, I'm afraid it would be difficult to break through to the meridian passage realm. Lu Yin smiled slightly, raising his right hand, which held a round pill with a faintly glowing pill pattern on it. "This is a high-quality body tempering pill that I refined, and it has fewer toxins." Hearing this, Lu Hie's eyes immediately sparkled, staring intently at the pill, which was only slightly larger than a soybean, even his breathing becoming somewhat hurried. As a martial artist, he knew the value of pills. However, in a small place like Spirit Creek Village, no one could afford to use pills, and he hadn't even seen what a pill looked like. Now, there was one right in front of him, and not only that, it was a high-quality pill with a pill pattern. The shock it brought him was undoubtedly enormous. After a long while, he finally regained his composure, took the body-tempering pill with trembling hands, and asked in disbelief, "Cheyenne, is this really a body-tempering pill?" Lu Yun nodded with a smile, yes. This glowing pattern on it is the legendary pill pattern. "MHM. Then can I really take it?" Lu He's voice trembled a bit. "I have plenty of these, even higher grade ones. There's nothing special about them. You take it first and see if you can break through. It'll protect your cultivation." Lu Yun said, "All right then." After giving his brother a deep look, Lu He opened his mouth and threw the body-tempering pill inside. It seems like nothing happened. At the side, Lu Yun beckoned with his hand, and a saber from the other side flew over, landing in front of Lu He. "Eldest brother, don't just stand there. Practice the black tiger's saber technique." "All right." Lu He grabbed the saber and began practicing the technique. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. With a howling wind, Lu He repeatedly performed the black tiger saber technique in the courtyard. With the energy inside his body aiding him, he didn't get exhausted for a short period of time. Meanwhile, another part of the energy refined his physical body and bones during his practice. "It seems like you're still a little off. Let me help you break through." A glint of crimson flashed in Lu Yun's eyes as he suddenly moved, disappearing from his original position. Chapter 232. 3000 Thunder Movement _41 finger pointed out. The full force was concentrated on this finger. Lu Yu, who was just walking out of the house, had no knowledge of martial arts and was unaware of the power behind this finger. She thought that the two brothers were simply playing and practicing, showing a gentle smile on her pretty face. However, Lu He, who was practicing his saber at the moment, suddenly felt an enormous sense of danger, as if he was being targeted by a powerful killing intent. His heart was filled with a strong sense of crisis. Even though he couldn't believe his younger brother would try to kill him, the strong desire to survive made him instinctively mobilize all his strength to counter this deadly attack. He channeled all his power into his arms. As the life-threatening crisis unfolded, the energy converted from the refinement of the body-tempering pill became incredibly active, constantly washing over his bones and flesh. The saber forcefully collided with the finger. Clang! A crisp sound suddenly rang out as he felt like his saber had struck the hardest stone in the world. As soon as the thought crossed his mind, the powerful backlash of the collision traveled through the blade and into his arms. With a rumbling noise, he was sent flying backward, crashing heavily to the ground, blood spilling from his mouth. On the other hand, Lu Yin stood casually at his original spot, his pointed finger showing no trace of damage. Witnessing this scene, Lu Yu was completely taken aback, her mouth agape, unable to speak for a long time. After a while, she finally regained her composure. "What were you two doing just now? You nearly scared me to death." Her voice was somewhat cold, as if her mouth was filled with ice. "Haha, my brother and I were just sparring." He slowly got up from the ground, brushed the dust off himself, and laughed somewhat awkwardly. However, there was a strange look in his eyes when he looked at Lu Yun. Just now, he had genuinely experienced a powerful life-and-death crisis. He had never felt such terror before, as if he was being targeted by a murderous god. Cold shivers ran down his spine before quickly spreading throughout his body. Lu Yu, with her hands on her hips and her face still very serious, said coldly, "Is that how you spar? Do you think I'm a fool? Just now, if Xiaoyan hadn't been strong enough, he would have been injured by your attack." Upon hearing this, Lu He's face couldn't help but stiffen. "Is he your real brother? And am I not your real elder brother?" Besides, he was clearly the victim. However, seeing Lu Yu standing with her hands on her hips and looking angry, he didn't say anything, but he felt extremely wronged in his heart. Yet, when he thought of him going all out against his brother during a life-or-death crisis, the feeling of injustice vanished, replaced by guilt and self-reproach. Nothing could be worse than attacking his own brother with a deadly strike. At this moment, Lu Yun chuckled and said, "Sister, don't blame eldest brother. It's my fault. Seeing that he was close to a breakthrough and just needed a little push, I initiated the gesture to let him experience a life-and-death crisis." In fact, he did mention one more thing. He had used the slaughter conception, which had affected Lu He's state of mind. "Is that so?" Even though she still had some doubts, Lu Yes' expression softened slightly. Lu Yun nodded, then turned his gaze to Lu He and mysteriously smiled. "Eldest brother, practice your saber technique once more, and see if there is any difference." Okay. Although he sensed that there might be something more to Lu Yun's words, he didn't hesitate to pick up the saber from the ground and started practicing the Black Tiger saber technique again. Fierce tiger descends the mountain. A faint saber aura burst forth, accompanied by a howling gust. At this moment, even without further explanation, he could understand what had happened. Did I just break through to the Meridian Passage realm? To verify his thoughts, he didn't stop but continued practicing his saber technique. Fierce tiger roar. Fierce tiger praise. Each move was smoother and more powerful than the last. Haha, one Lu He have finally broken through to the Meridian Passage realm. Chapter 233. The Return of the White Lotus Cult. Seeking monthly tickets. It was past midnight and the night was quiet. Despite Arachi Moon's light flickering through the clouds, Lu Yin couldn't fall asleep due to his heavy heart. Unable to sleep, he got up to practice his cultivation techniques. His transforming origin chapter had reached great accomplishment, and his progress was barely noticeable during daily cultivation. However, drop by drop, constant effort yielded results. The next day, before dawn, Lu Yun finished his cultivation, leaving behind all the body-tempering pills and meridian pills he had refined the day before. Eldest brother and sister-in-law refused to leave Spirit Creek Village. One can't force them. The only thing one can do is leave these pills behind. Lu He, now having connected his first meridian, was a Meridian Passage realm martial artist. He was considered a top figure in Spirit Creek Village. If possible, he might even break through to the true Qi realm in the future, which was why Lu Yin left him the meridian pills. There were more body-tempering pills, 15 bottles, almost all of which were high quality. This was the cultivation resource he left for Spirit Creek Village. He didn't personally hand them to the village higher-ups, hoping that by contributing them through Lu He could raise his standing. As for Lu Yu, who had no innate talent and didn't like martial arts, the only blessing Lu Yin could give her was a wish for her to live a peaceful life. Not knowing when he would return, Lu Yin didn't say goodbye. He took one last look at the small courtyard and silently left. Great Wilderness Major City was also one of the frontier, heavy cities of Spirit Marshal Prefecture. The stationed army was no less powerful than that of Eastfield Giant City. Lu Yun's destination was Great Wilderness Major City. First, it was relatively close to Cloudwater County, and with his speed, he could arrive in 3 days at full speed. Second, Wang Yinghu was there, and he could receive some rewards if things went smoothly. However, situations always change rapidly. On Lu Yun's way to provide reinforcement, the atmosphere in Great Wilderness Major City was tense. Black Tiger Army, one of the strongest armies in Spirit Marshal Prefecture, was now receiving assistance from all directions due to the invasion of the demon beasts. Close to 150,000 soldiers were stationed here, with more reinforcements arriving from all sides. Now, with hundreds of thousands of demon beasts violently advancing, there had already been more than a dozen fierce battles outside the city. Except for the battle that did not involve 7th-rank demon beasts and rune seed realm experts, the intensity of the fights was no less than that of the battle in Eastfield Giant City years ago. It was all RHE more intense. Inside the military camp tent, by now, our army has repelled the demon beast army's 9th attack, but at a heavy cost. As RHE number of demon beasts gathered grows, so will our pressure. What can we do to garner more powerful reinforcements? A stocky, middle-aged man dressed in heavy armor, with cold and gloomy eyes, asked the other generals inside the tent. Lu Shenjiangle, he was the main general stationed in Great Wilderness Major City. More than 100,000 Black Tiger Army soldiers were under his command. Since Zhuang Zijin became a rune seed realm expert and transferred to RHE Monster Extermination Army to fight in the endless Great Wilderness, he became the 3rd most powerful figure in the Black Tiger Army's high command. The other generals in the tent also had extraordinary strengths and positions. The lowest among them were commanders with origin fluid realm strength. As for the Black Tiger Army's arrangement, there were captains, commanders, and assistant generals, with positions ranging from Zhuiying, Xiaocui, Dudu, and Tongling to Pianjiang Deputy General and Main General. A commander had at least T-transforming origin realm strength, commanding 10 captains and 1,000 soldiers. A commander-in-chief had origin fluid realm strength, commanding 5 commanders and 5,000 soldiers. And an assistant general had to be AR, least in the late stage of the origin fluid realm, commanding 10,000 soldiers. Now, besides Lu Yongsheng, there was another golden body realm expert in the tent. Huang Sheng, one of the most powerful deputy generals in the Black Tiger Army, was Lu Xingyong's right-hand man. He drained the wine in his cup and loudly said, "Given the current situation, Eastfield Giant City is under the greatest pressure. Even the kings from the depths of Cloud Dream Mountain Range have personally taken action. Our support from other Black Tiger armies in other regions is unlikely to come. However, the news of the demon beast's large-scale invasion has reached the Central Province Court. As long as we persevere for a few more days, reinforcements from other places will arrive." Another assistant general continued, "The strongest armies in the surrounding prefectures are our Black Tiger Army, the Arakiran Army, and the White Rhino Army. However, the armies of other counties are weaker, suitable for deterring aristocratic families, but not for fighting demon beasts. Moreover, we must also guard against evil cults and demon sects inciting chaos and cannot easily send troops. Evil cults and demon sects." As these words were mentioned, the atmosphere seemed to stagnate for a moment. Deep disgust and killing intent filled each general's eyes. If it weren't for these evil cults and demon sects, Meridian's main forces could be used to conquer the great wilderness and expand its territory. Sensing the heavy atmosphere in the tent, Wang Ying's eyes gleamed and said, "We may be able to request assistance from Flying Spirit Martial Academy and other martial academies, Heavenly Pride in the surrounding prefectures. Not long ago, when I was fighting against demon beasts in Cloudwater County, one received support from one of Flying Spirit Martial Academy's Heavenly Prides. Eventually, we turned the tide of the battle. Not only did we save Cloudwater County, but we also nearly annihilated the demon beast army. The most powerful Heavenly Prides from these martial academies have already entered the endless great wilderness. Those remaining in the martial academies, whose strength is most likely only at transforming origin, cannot help us repel the demon beasts. Even if there is one or two with strength comparable to the fifth realm, it won't have much impact on the overall situation." A general at the beginning of the origin fluid realm shook his head slightly. Upon hearing this, Wang Yinghu glanced at the man with disdain. Chapter 234. The White Lotus Sect Reappears, Seeking Monthly Tickets. _2 As for Lu Yun's strength, he knew it best. To be able to reverse the battlefield and hunt down the wind-flow silver-winged wolf. It was not as simple as merely being comparable to the fifth realm. Sitting in the main seat, Lu Xingyong glanced sharply at the generals below, his eyes as sharp as knives. In the coming days, there will be a constant stream of martial artists coming to support us. But in terms of our needs, we lack higher-level combat power. Asking for assistance from other martial academies is a good idea. However, a while ago, Commander Chu was ordered by the Yuan Emperor to lead General of Western Border and go to the front lines, suppressing the demon beasts in the 100,000 mountains and sweeping away the western wilderness. A few days ago, the general opened a battlefield in the narrow-line sky, and now the elites of all the martial academies are responding to the order, rushing to narrow-line sky, and our request for help may not have much result. However, we still have to try. Anyway, if we can get a group of fourth realm powerhouses to support us, it would greatly ease the pressure on the great wilderness major city. Upon saying this, he paused slightly and looked at a middle-aged man in a scholar's attire sitting next to him. Relying solely on the Black Tiger Army, it is more challenging to defend the great wilderness major city. You should draft a wartime reward system and reward those who kill demon beasts, whether they are soldiers of the Black Tiger Army or other martial artists. The middle-aged scholar saluted. "Please rest assured, General, I will have the wartime reward system ready by tomorrow morning." Drinking all the wine in the cup and then smashing it on the ground, the sudden noise startled every general in the tent and woke them up. "Yu Qijing, Feng Yu, tonight you too will be responsible for guarding the city wall. The rest of you go back to rest, raise your ability to peak condition, and be ready for the upcoming battles." For less than 5 days, they've gone through 9 intense battles in a row, and every one of them is both physically and mentally exhausted. Of course, the demon beasts also had a hard time. Suddenly, someone rushed in from outside. "General, the demon beasts have begun their attack again, and they are now only 10 miles away from the city wall." "This soon?" Lu Xingyong raised his eyebrows. A shadow of gloom crossed his face, and a strong killing intent emerged. "Send my order. All troops prepare for battle." As the words fell, every general, except for the middle-aged scholar, picked up their war blades and rushed towards the city wall. Lu Yun had just left the Cloudwater County, and the identity token around his waist trembled slightly. A message? He took out the token immediately, and a message appeared on it. Mission content: some disciples have been hunted down by White Lotus Sect forces. Go and support them. Mission level, top-level black rank, reward for completing the mission. 10,000 contribution points. Note: there may be 2 or more martial artists in the origin fluid realm. Please be cautious and protect yourself as the main priority. Without any hesitation, Lu Yun decisively accepted the mission. It was a mandatory mission, and he had no choice but to accept it. There are 2 or more origin fluid realm martial artists, but it's only a black rank mission. Lu Yun's eyes narrowed. Although the mission level is the same, this mission is different from supporting Cloudwater County City. Supporting Cloudwater County City means helping the army resist the demon beast's attacks. However, for this rescue mission, they may have to face several origin fluid realm powerhouses directly. Considering the difficulty level, it should at least be an Earth rank mission. If I'm not mistaken, I'm probably not the only one who received this mission. But I'm closer to Harvest County, and if one can complete this mission alone, the final reward might be even higher. After personally killing the Wind Flow Silver Winged Wolf of the 5th rank, Lu Yun further knew the limit of his own strength. Later, after his cultivation broke through and reached the late stage of the transforming origin realm, his strength was even stronger than when he fought the Wind Flow Silver Winged Wolf. Now, even if he faced a peak origin fluid realm powerhouse, he was confident enough to fight. With such strength, it should not be difficult to complete this rescue mission. Thinking of this, Lu Yun turned and headed in another direction at a rapid pace. Damn! Qin Yin spat out blood-stained saliva and couldn't help cursing as he listened to the movement outside the door. He had forgotten how many curses he had uttered since he came to Harvest County. It's all Meng Hongfei's fault. He insisted on accepting this mission, and now we've ended up in the enemy's lair. He and Meng Hongfei were both members of the Sky Patrol Office, and they had accepted the mission to investigate the death of the county warden in Harvest County. At first, both of them hadn't taken it seriously. After all, both were close to the peak of the transforming origin realm, and they were considered powerful in Spirit Martial Prefecture. Completing such a small mission was like playing a game. But when they actually entered Harvest County, they sensed that something was wrong. The 2 of them went straight to the county government office, where they were surrounded by people from the White Lotus sect. However, relying on their strength, they didn't care too much. But when they finally clashed, they found out that the opponent actually had origin fluid realm powerhouses, and not just one. Left with no choice, the 2 were outnumbered and had to flee separately. Luckily, the opponents didn't care much at first. Otherwise, they might not have been able to get away. As for why they didn't escape, the reason is simple. He was injured now, and his strength could only emit 30% to 40% of his usual power. Leaving the shelter would mean getting spotted and beaten to death. Mr. Qin, we finally escaped that disaster. Captain Zhang of the county government office had a panic-stricken expression on his face. All the high-ranking members of the entire county government office had either submitted to the White Lotus sect or died under their blades. Chapter 235. The reappearance of White Lotus sect, requesting monthly tickets. _3 so far. He was the only one who had survived. This was because his status was not very high, and he was not taken seriously by the White Lotus sect, so he was lucky enough to escape with his life. Qin Yin glanced at him and shook his head. Whether we can survive or not, it's up to fate now. If we're lucky and a strong senior brother or colleague is nearby, perhaps we might live. If not, his face looked somewhat helpless. It would take at least several days for reinforcements to arrive from either the Sky Patrol Office or the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. Now, the White Lotus sect was everywhere in Harvest County, and it was questionable if they could even hold on for a day. Doesn't that mean we're doomed? Captain Wang's face turned pale. He was the last of the Zhang family. Up to this point, he was still a virgin without a son to continue the family line. If he died now, the old Zhang family would be cut off. Leaving a legacy or not was one issue. Primarily, he was afraid of death. Don't worry, they won't find us in a short time. Just hold on a little longer. Once my injuries have healed enough, maybe we'll have a chance to escape. Compared to Captain Wang, Qin Yin was much calmer. After all, he was Heavenly Pride of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy and a second-level Sky Patrol Guard. Captain Wang was still as pessimistic as ever, and worriedly said, "Most of the families in Harvest County have been controlled by the White Lotus sect. If they mobilize all their forces to search for us, we may not be able to hide for long. In that case, it's indeed troublesome. Just then, Qin Yun's voice suddenly stopped, raising a finger to signal Captain Zhang not to make any noise. Captain Zhang also seemed to sense something and quickly held his breath, not even daring to gasp for air. Soon after, the room they were in became deathly silent as they listened carefully to the sounds outside. Footsteps were constantly approaching from the street, and judging from the sounds, there seemed to be quite a few people. Moreover, there were continuous sounds of doors and windows being opened. Not good. They are searching the rooms one by one. Qin Yun's face turned grim. Standing beside him, Captain Zhang's face became even uglier. If they searched every room one by one, they would soon be discovered. These guys are really treacherous, betraying their own people. If it were not for the protection of the court, they would have long become food for demon beasts. Now, they are actually helping these evil cult forces that collude with demon beasts. They deserve to die. Qin Yun's face also turned ugly at this time. He was still seriously injured and could barely handle ordinary, transforming origin realm martial artists. If he encountered a powerful enemy or was surrounded, the situation would become troublesome. However, he had encountered such critical situations many times and could still remain calm, thinking about countermeasures. Judging from the footsteps, there are at least 20 people outside. They have uneven and weak steps, so they should all be low-level martial artists. At the very least, there are no true Qi realm counterparts. If Captain Zhang and I strike together, we can instantly kill them, but forcibly striking out will aggravate my severe injuries. As he thought about it, the worry between his brows grew thicker. It's all Meng Hongfei's fault. There are so many tasks he could take, but he had to take this one. Next time, I want to team up and play with him. He found that ever since he teamed up with Meng Hongfei, he had not encountered any good fortune, and they always ended up in a miserable state. Lord Qin, they're about to search here. Captain Zhang whispered a reminder. Just wait a moment. Qin Yun said a word, then quickly moved out of the back window, turning into a shadow and landed on the roof. Crawling on the roof, with his incredible vision, he quickly scanned the surroundings. He saw that the streets around were filled with teams searching from house to house. With the dark, faintly powerful auras were lurking around. A moment later, Qin Yun returned to the room. Lord Qin, how is it? Captain Zhang's hand, gripping the knife, trembled, betraying his tense mood. Qin Yun whispered, the surroundings are already surrounded, and the encirclement is continuously shrinking. We are no longer safe. What should we do? At this point, we can only split up and run, hoping to gain a chance for survival. Seeing that Captain Zhang was still very tense, Qin Yun added, don't worry, their main target is me. If we split up, your chances of survival will be greater. Wait for me to go out first, and then lure people away. You come out later. Hearing this, Captain Zhang's face was filled with gratitude and tears. Lord Qin, please be careful. If you are lucky enough to survive and meet someone else, tell them to come to the north of the city. After saying that, Qin Yun charged out of the house first. The sudden commotion instantly attracted the searching gaze of the people outside. He's here. Hurry up. They closed in like they had discovered a treasure. Looking for death. With a swing of the sword, a crescent-like sword light soared across the sky, as if coming from a cold winter. Like falling snow, it congealed into frosty ice cones with fangs and claws, sizzling towards those who had surrounded them from the front. With a series of miserable screams, 7 or 8 bodies lay on the ground. With a flash, Qin Yun quickly disappeared into the night. Crescent moon-cold frost slash. 2 figures wearing black robes descended, glanced at the marks on the ground, and one said, He's heading towards the north of the city. Chase! Whiz! Whiz. Their speed was very fast, barely inferior to Qin Yin. Without a doubt, these two were powerful, transforming origin realm experts. Enclosed in the room, Captain Zhang waited for a while. When there was no movement outside on the street, he cautiously crawled out. He glanced in the direction of the North City and muttered quietly, "Lord Qin, if I'm lucky enough to survive, I'll name my son Zhangyan to show my gratitude for your help in luring the enemy away today." Chapter 236, Secret Sword, Cold Reflection of 1,000 Autumns. Seeking monthly tickets, in Harvest County the night was pitch black. Captain Zhang felt like crying a bit. He did not expect his luck to be so terrible. Qin Yin made such a commotion, leading the enemies to the north of the city, so he chose the opposite direction, fleeing towards the south. He originally thought that there was a good chance he could escape. However, it turned out that the entire Harvest County was controlled by the White Lotus sect, and even the south gate was completely blocked. Without hesitation, he stayed in place for a while and then immediately turned around to leave. The group of martial artists guarding the city gate did not pose much threat to him, but another man dressed in black gave him a strong sense of danger. If he were to charge past forcibly, he would undoubtedly die. Although the city was dangerous, as long as he was not discovered, there was still a chance for survival. Perhaps due to his terrible luck, when he turned around, he immediately spotted someone. Fuck, when did someone appear here? I just left the team for a moment to relieve myself. The man in black, with a black hood, exposed a pair of dizzying eyes. His pupils widened. Go to hell. Captain Zhang, who reacted, had a cold light burst in his eyes. The hand holding the saber hilt tightened, and the strength and true chi of his entire body burst out in an instant. The saber was unsheathed, and its ringing sound echoed in the night sky. He slashed out with all his strength, landing directly on the man in black. As a captain, his strength could rank in the top 10 in Harvest County, and killing this man in black was not a big issue. Ollie! A miserable scream sounded, and the man in black was split in half even before he could put away his private parts. Boom! Slashing diagonally downwards, his entire body was cut into 2 halves. At the moment when Captain Zhang unsheathed his saber, the man in black guarding the carriage reacted and looked towards him with their eyes all at once, then charged towards him. Seems like this is where I meet my end. There's no chance of escape, and he no longer wanted to run. Come to die. Captain Zhang shouted angrily, and a nearly 10-foot-long saber light burst out from his saber, cutting one person in half at the waist. His saber technique was ruthless, as if it had been tempered through 1,000 hammers. The other people were frightened by Captain Zhang's fearless posture. They were not even peripheral members of the White Lotus sect, and their strength was limited. They retreated one after another when faced with a fearless, true chi realm martial artist. Humph, a bunch of trash, get out of my way. A powerful aura erupted and stepped out from the crowd. Dressed in black clothes and a black mask, the man in black was almost completely merged with the night. Only his eyes were visible through the mask. His dark eyes revealed the danger from Devil Swamp, and the cold gaze was like a newly sharpened knife, causing Captain Zhang to shiver all over. It felt as though his body was being constantly sliced by a knife. The captain's gaze towards his opponent became even more solemn, and he couldn't help but grip the saber hilt tighter, seeking solace from his fear. This guy must be at least at the transforming origin realm. If we have to fight head-on, I might not be able to withstand a single move. What should I do? What should I do? His mind was constantly thinking about countermeasures. Rat, you're lucky to have survived this long. As soon as the words fell, the man in black's aura surged again, turning into a ghostly light, and rushed towards Captain Zhang. With a palm blast, it felt as if mountains and rivers were on the move. The murderous intent sealed all directions. True origin enveloped him, leaving Captain Zhang nowhere to retreat. Since there was no escape, he might as well go out with a bang. Take my saber. Fear, disappeared from his face as an overpowering fighting intent burst from his eyes. His muscles bulged, and his strength gathered in his arms. The true chi in his dantian rushed to his long saber like a surging river. Before the saber even swung, the blade light had already begun to erupt. Die! With an angry shout, the long-accumulated power and blade light burst out in an instant. Rumble! The saber felt like it was striking a powerful barrier. The blade light shattered, and the overwhelming power swept across his entire body. Captain Zhang was struck by the palm and flew out, coughing out blood. Too powerful. I don't even have a chance to fight back. Leaning on his saber, kneeling on one knee, Captain Zhang's face was full of despair. As the man in black gradually closed in, he sensed that his life was coming to an end, but he did not regret his past choices. Knowing the consequences, why even bother in the first place? It seemed that the man in black knew Captain Zhang, revealing a trace of contempt in his eyes. As he approached, the true origin in his palm surged, slowly falling on Captain Zhang's forehead. The strong force of repression made it impossible for Captain Zhang to move. However, strangely enough, at this critical moment of life and death, he showed no fear at all. On the contrary, the eyes were filled with a glimpse of hope. Don't expect anyone to come and save you. A flash of killing intent in the man in black's eyes. The speed of his descending palm suddenly increased, and in the blink of an eye, it was about to fall on Captain Zhang's forehead. But at the very next moment, in the silent night, a saber light whisked by. With a soft sound, the man in black's arm was severed at the shoulder. Blood sprayed out violently. Before his brain could register the pain, the sound of the blade entering the body rang again. Following the sound, the man in black, with the last bit of energy, looked sideways, only to see a young man in white clothes with a handsome face, his eyes looking at him with a hint of coldness. With shock and fear, his body finally lost its strength and heavily fell to the ground. Chapter 237. Secret Sword, Cold Reflection of 1,000 Autumns, Seeking Monthly Tickets. _2 After cultivating and reaching the late stage of the transforming origin realm, Lu Yun's strength greatly increased, especially the enhancement of his slaughter conception and speed when he exerted his full power with a single slash. It was simply terrifying. When he exploded with power, his strength far exceeded that of the origin fluid realm. Killing a transforming origin realm martial artist naturally took no effort. So powerful. Run. When those who originally surrounded Captain Zhang saw this scene, they were first shocked and then became terrified, with their souls fleeing in panic. Even a transforming origin realm messenger was easily killed in seconds, so these minor shrimps, who couldn't even be considered as peripheral members, dared not to delay and immediately fled. Die. Lu Yin was filled with murderous intent, and a surge of killing intent dispersed, causing the fleeing people to slow down as if they were caught by a giant hand, their bodies trembling all over. Pucci! 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 In just a few breaths' time, more than 10 corpses had covered the ground. As Lu Yin sheathed his sword, his cold eyes fell on Captain Zhang, who had collapsed on the ground. This guy must be mad, wanting to kill even me. Although Captain Zhang was saved, he shivered all over. There was no way around it. Lu Yun's oppressive power was too strong, and coupled with his instant killing of more than a dozen people without even blinking, this aura was simply terrifying. Glancing quickly at Captain Zhang, Lu Yun flicked his long sword. This guy really has gone mad, not even distinguishing between friend and foe. As the long sword filled his vision, Captain Zhang recalled the black-clothed man who had been pierced through earlier, and he was filled with regret. If he had known earlier, he would have clung tightly to Qin Yun's thigh. There might have been a sliver of hope for his survival. However, to his surprise, the long sword didn't strike him. He didn't kill me, and that terrible oppressive force just now has disappeared. I'm not cold anymore. Raising his head, he saw Lu Yun's action, and his eyes suddenly widened. Good guy, so he was searching the bodies, giving me a scare. Having quickly checked the sumi bag in his hand, a slight smile appeared on Lu Yun's face. Compared to his previous demeanor, this smile was like a ray of sunshine in the cold winter, and Captain Zhang felt the chill in his body instantly dissipate. However, he still hadn't completely let down his guard and cautiously asked, 1 a.m. the headhunter of Harvest County, chased by the White Lotus sect. Thanks to your help, I was able to escape with my life. So it is the White Lotus sect. Lu Yin discreetly put away the sumi bag and looked at Captain Zhang. I am a disciple of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy. One have received a mission to rescue people. Tell me, what is the current situation in the city? The situation must be more serious than he had imagined for the White Lotus sect to dare to openly hunt down a county warden. Flying Spirit Martial Academy. A glimmer of joy flashed in Captain Zhang's eyes, and he immediately reported the situation one by one. As it turned out, all the higher-ups in the county government office, apart from the deceased county warden, had joined the White Lotus sect, including the Huang family, the most powerful family in Harvest County, which had secretly become an external force of the White Lotus sect. Almost the entire Harvest County had become the lair of the White Lotus sect. Even a second-level Sky Patrol guard of the Sky Patrol office had been seriously injured and was now trapped in Harvest County. After learning about these situations, Lu Yun's eyebrows furrowed deeply. It was not because he was worried about the powerful enemies in Harvest County, but because he thought of the fact that an entire county had been infiltrated by the White Lotus sect without drawing the attention of the Sky Patrol office. This was the most terrifying aspect. Lu Yin didn't think further. It wasn't something he should be concerned about. As long as he did what he was supposed to do, there would be someone to handle the issue if the sky fell. Since you are the headhunter of Harvest County, you must be familiar with the situation in the city. From now on, you will lead the way for me. I dare not disobey. North of the city, Heavenly Pride of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, a second-level Sky Patrol guard. The Bayak-clothed man's eyes were cold as he looked down on Qin Yin below, while a violent true origin swirled around his body. This true origin was far more powerful than ordinary true origin, and it was clearly the kind of true origin that only origin fluid realm powerhouses could possess. To his left and right, there were also 2 other black-clothed men whose breaths were clearly at the peak of the transforming origin realm. Apart from them, there were several black-clothed men at the early stage of the transforming origin realm, completely blocking Qin Yin's retreat. 1 in the origin fluid realm, 2 at the peak of transforming origin realm, and 5 at the early stage of transforming origin realm. Damn, my luck is really terrible. All the people have come to me. Qin Yin was speechless at the turn of events. When he and Meng Hongfei were besieged earlier, there were only 2 in the origin fluid realm, for in the transforming origin realm, and a bunch of weak true Qi realm opponents. Now, more than 2/3 of the powerful enemies had come to his side. It's so annoying that my strength has only just recovered to 80%, making it a problem for me to deal with even a single origin fluid realm peak. So many have come all at once. However, if there are more people on my side, Brother Meng's pressure over there will be much smaller, and he might have a chance to escape and report the situation here to the Sky Patrol office. With that thought, Qin Yin suddenly relaxed a bit. Kill him. As soon as the words of the high-ranking origin fluid realm black-clothed man fell, 7 figures immediately moved and rushed towards Qin Yin. Although Qin Yin was only at the later stage of the transforming origin realm and his injuries had not recovered, they didn't dare to be careless. Being able to escape from the heavy encirclement, his true strength must be more than just simple on the surface. The 7 black-clothed men, the weakest of which was at the early stage of the transforming origin realm, and the strongest 2 were at the peak of the transforming origin realm, charged at Qin Yin with their weapons almost at the same time. Chapter 238. Secret sword, cold reflection of 1,000 autumns, seeking monthly tickets. Underscore 3 faced with the power of 7 at once. Qin Yun dare not confront them directly, instead deploying the fleeting light shadow method, nimbly evading their attacks. If I go all out, I might be able to eliminate the few black-clad individuals in the early stages of the transforming origin realm, but doing so would put me in immediate fatal danger. I won't be able to buy much time. Clang, clang, clang. The ebony long sword collided with the weapons of the black-clad men, with Qin Yin's figure constantly flickering. He was not vying to kill the enemy, but to gain more time. Being attacked by 7 individuals, the pressure is incredibly high, causing his internal injuries to sometimes be triggered by the immense force. The most crucial point was, he still had to divert part of his attention to guard against the origin fluid realm black-clad man who had not attacked yet. He was very clear. The reason the other party had not taken action was to prevent him from again using the fleeting light shadow method to escape. Once he showed the slightest mistake or showed signs of wanting to escape, he would suffer a thunderous blow from the enemy. Hiss, hiss, hiss. In the dark and heavy air of the night, sparks flash from time to time, lighting up the clouds created by the collisions of blades. On the ground and on surrounding buildings, one can see the formation of ice cones. In recent years, his cultivation had not advanced quickly, but his cold sword intent had made a quantum leap, already reaching 30% of the first rank. Sword intent was more potent than common martial arts conception and added more to an attack's power. With this strong sword intent, the black-clad people also dared not attack too aggressively. As it was, Qin Yin was like a turtle in a jar, unable to escape. All they had to do was apply pressure gradually, and when his injuries fully broke out, anyone among them could kill him. While Qin Yin understood their strategy, for him, it already made for the best possible outcome. Brother Meng, one hope you won't disappoint me. With a glint in his eyes, Qin Yin countered an attack with a swing of his sword within the blink of an eye. His sword clashed with an incoming long knife. He's quite resilient. One of the black-clad men's faces was shook, but he quickly retreated and sought a new opportunity for attack after his blow failed. While this black-clad man was retreating, other attacks came one after another. Qin Yin was utterly weary, his injuries worsening. Even when he counterattacked, he felt powerless. The little guy is on his last legs. In the dark pupils of one of the black-clad men at the peak of the transforming origin realm, a ruthless intent surged as he invigorated his true origin to its limit, illuminating his weapon. Boom! Layers of knife aura converged into a terrifying blade light, which slashed out in the blink of an eye. The dark night seemed furiously slashed apart in this instance. Now's the time. The opponent guessed it right. He was at his limit, but that didn't mean he had no power to counterattack. Watching the approaching black-clad man, Qin Yun's killing intent surged in his eyes as he used the fleeting light shadow method, increasing his speed dramatically. At the same time, 30% of the murderous intent at the first rank, along with the true origin reaching the peak of the transforming origin realm, flooded into his long sword in the blink of an eye. In an instant, the temperature in the darkness of the night suddenly dropped drastically, as if it had entered deep winter. The flowing air froze into ice crystals and fell. The might on Qin Yin's body soared to an extreme extent in this split second. Secret sword, cold reflection, 1,000 autumns. Boom! Amid the profusion of ice crystals, the essence of sword intent intertwined and converged into 2 substantial sword lights. At the moment these terrifying sword lights emerged, the temperature between heaven and earth plummeted again. The extremely sharp, cold sword light slashed towards the approaching black-clad man. The silent world seemed to have been cut apart. What? The black-clad man's face immediately went pale. As the terrifying sword light descended, he felt an intense cold surging toward him, as if an icy world was descending, freezing his body, freezing everything about him. In the face of the impending crisis, He had no choice but to withdraw his knife and defend hastily. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Where the sword light passed, the world was icy. Everything was frozen, then split apart. Bang! A loud noise. The terrifying sword light, far surpassing the level of the transforming Origin Realm peak, burst down. At the moment of falling, the two sword lights merged into one as if two completely different worlds overlapped, their power escalating once more. This sudden turn of events left the black-clad man defenseless. He felt that the blood in his body was being frozen, and even the mobilization of true origin was becoming extremely difficult. "Help me!" Unfortunately, all this happened in a flash, and the others could not respond in time to help. In the blink of an eye, the black-clad man was completely frozen, and the glowing long sword pierced through the man's body. After the overwhelming power of one sword, all of Qin Yun's injuries completely broke out, and he could no longer resist the rest of the attacks from his surroundings. "Ha ha! Being able to bring one down with me before I die is enough!" At this point, he had no strength left for the fight. He couldn't even hold the sword tightly. To remain standing was his last display of resilience. He closed his eyes slowly, quietly waiting for death to come. Clang! Suddenly, a fierce collision sounded, and a young man in a purple robe suddenly appeared, swinging his sword and repelling all the black-clad men. The youth in the purple robe, his sword light shimmering, swung out, the blade like a dragon leaping from the sea, stirred up a gale, packed with the invincible momentum of destruction, instantly killing two of the black-clad men. Seeing the suddenly appearing youth in the purple robe, not only were the black-clad men shocked, but even Qin Yun felt it incredible. He even suspected whether the youth had arrived long before, only stepping in to save him when he was on the brink of death. Can't blame him for thinking so. The timing was perfect. Cough! Qin Yun coughed weakly, looking at the youth in the purple robe in front of him with a smile. For one good turn, you risked your life. This youth in the purple robe was Meng Hongfei. He glanced at the Qin Yun beside him, weak beyond words, and said casually, "Remember, you owe me a life." Flaha, let's first manage to stay alive before talking about who owes who. Seeing the sudden appearance of Meng Hongfei, the Origin Fluid Realm black-clad man's eyebrows were tightly knitted. Jiang Yufei, this useless woman. Not only did she fail to kill Meng Hongfei, she led him to break through to the peak of the transforming Origin Realm. Damn it! He cursed as the black-clad man moved. Meng Hongfei, even before his breakthrough, could parry an Origin Fluid Realm expert. Now, having made a breakthrough, his strength is even more terrifying. If he keeps holding back, the rest won't be able to keep him in check. Apart from that, there was another reason. Meng Hongfei appearing here signified he wouldn't escape alone. For him to continue blocking their retreat was no longer meaningful. You had a way to heaven, but you didn't take it. Hell doesn't have a door, yet you barged in. You brought this upon yourself. This time, one won't let you escape. The black-clothed man's eyes were filled with killing intent. The aura of an Origin Fluid Realm powerhouse popped up, peeking. Phi held a blood-red mace in each hand, rushing down in an eerie way. Chapter 239. Dual cultivation of swords and blades. I haven't killed an Origin Fluid Realm martial artist yet. Watching the black-robed man swooping down to attack, Meng Hongfei's intense battle intent soared to the heavens. In the dark night sky, their attacks collided. Clang! The pitch-black, blue-black treasure saber clashed head-on with the blood-red double mace in the black-robed man's hand. Under the terrifying force of the impact, the robes of both men fluttered violently. Origin Fluid Realm martial artists aren't very strong after all. Defending against the opponent's attack and being struck back several meters, Meng Hongfei slightly narrowed his eyes, his expression somewhat disdainful. Seeking death. With boundless killing intent, the The blood-red long mace in the black-robed man's hands formed layers of blood clouds. With Qin Yin heavily injured and immobile behind him, Meng Hongfei had no choice but to fight. The best strategy was to anger his opponent, causing them to lose their composure and seize the opportunity in the chaos. However, it seemed the black-robed martial artists didn't give him a chance. As the black-robed man of origin fluid realm attacked, several other black-robed men also joined in. Their goal was simple: to ruthlessly eliminate any hidden threat. In the black night sky, killing intent surged from all directions, leaving no room for Meng Hongfei to break through. Among them, the killing intent from the front was the most terrifying. When the origin fluid realm attacked, each strike had the power to shatter the heavens and earth, let alone their fatal blows. Meng Hongfei, firmly locked on by the killing intent, was well aware of his predicament. The most dangerous moment was also the perfect opportunity he had been waiting for. Both hands gripping his saber, the clashing sound suddenly echoed through the night. With a glance at Qin Yin behind him, Meng Hongfei's calm voice sounded. "I have a move called the Myriad Transforming Thousand Light Slash. Watch closely." As he spoke, Meng Hongfei's aura formed a pillar, shooting straight to the sky. On the pitch-black, blue-black treasure saber hung in midair, the saber aura suddenly burst forth. Immediately after, his entire body rotated in the air, creating a whirlwind made of saber light. Within the whirlwind, thousands of saber energy erupted, hundreds of saber light flickered. Each beam of saber light concealed a chilling, killing intent. One origin fluid realm martial artist and 6 transforming origin realm martial artists attacked simultaneously, not fearing Meng Hongfei, who was at the peak of the transforming origin realm. Even if they sensed the terrifying killing intent within his attack, 7 different strengths of attack struck from every direction, colliding with Meng Hongfei's myriad transforming thousand light slash. With a terrifying force, roof tiles and buildings nearby were blown away. Even though Meng Hongfei was powerful, facing the attacks of 7 people at once, he appeared overwhelmed. The saber light shattered one after another. However, the opponents were still barred outside of the battle, unable to penetrate. In other words, this round of confrontation had a winner and a loser. Gaining a slight advantage, Meng Hongfei felt no joy. His face pale, it was clear that using his trump card put a tremendous strain on his current strength. But what could he do? Despite the burden, he had to press on, because this was the only chance for him and Qin Yin to survive. As his rotation continued, the whirlwind of saber light expanded, and the killing intent grew denser. For the moment, the black-robed men were taken aback. All of them, except for the origin fluid realm martial artist, were struck down by the powerful saber light, their bodies flailing helplessly. Just as the crowd was shocked, a faint whistling sound echoed from the whirlwind of saber light. "Watch out!" Not knowing who warned them, the black-robed men quickly backed away. Meng Hongfei, clad in purple, flew out with a saber, crossing the sky and appearing in their sight. They saw him carrying a young man in white clothing, escaping towards a previous gap. Witnessing this scene, the black-robed men finally realized that Meng Hongfei's myriad transforming thousand light slash and the final chilling strike were just a diversion. His real goal was to escape. "You useless bunch! What are you standing there for? Catch them!" The black-robed man's leader shouted angrily, pursuing them. With all the exits of Harvest County blocked, he didn't believe the 2 could escape with one of them injured. But mocked by the escape, anger surged in his heart like a torrential river. "I must kill him! I must kill him!" The eyes of the black-robed man grew darker, cold and sinister to the extreme. There were no lights in the gloomy, chilling alley, only the weak shadows cast by the stars and moon, barely illuminating the path ahead. Clutching Qin Yin, Meng Hongfei dashed through the dark and twisting alleyways. "Leave me, and you'll have a chance to escape." Qin Yin's weak voice sounded. Meng Hongfei remained silent, sprinting at top speed. Whenever he encountered an intersection, he turned a corner, randomly zigzagging through the alleyways. Qin Yin was right. If Meng Hongfei were alone, no one could stop him. Not even the two Origin Fluid Realm black-robed martial artists working together. But how could Meng Hongfei abandon Qin Yin? "If you continue like this, neither of us will escape." Meng Hongfei still didn't speak, but his grip tightened. "Ouch, be gentle. You're hurting me. If you know pain, then talk less." Meng Hongfei sped through the night, swiftly passing through numerous alleyways, disappearing into the shadows. However, the killing intent from behind was getting closer. Even with his knowledge of the area's complex terrain, he couldn't shake off the pursuit. "Brother Meng, be careful." As soon as the words fell, a huge palm struck from the sky. A chilling cold froze the surrounding air, and countless ice spikes flew down, covering the dark alleyways. Chapter 240. Dual Training in Sword and Knife. Two Meng Hongfei slashes with his blade, instantly shattering the ice spike nearly in his face. He looks ahead with a grim face, where a slender, white-veiled woman stands gracefully. Two men in black stand by her. The sight of the adversaries makes Meng Hongfei's bitterness hard to conceal. In his heart, he thinks, "The people chasing me haven't caught up yet, but this old witch has blocked my way first. How unlucky can one be?" It was this group that hunted him earlier. Fortunately, he broke through at a critical moment, greatly enhancing his strength, and finally got rid of them. And now they have found him again. It's truly infuriating. What a loyal and righteous little thief you are. It's a pity to kill you. Under the woman's white veil, cherry-colored lips opened slightly. Her voice is light and her tone leisurely. Given her graceful body, she would undoubtedly be considered a beauty if the face under her veil wasn't too ugly. Unfortunately, the more beautiful they are, the more venomous they tend to be. Boom! With a pat, a cold wind swept across, and snowflakes fluttered down within a few dozen feet. The ice spikes, solidified into arrows, killed their way forward. The walls of the alley on both sides, upon being hit by these ice spikes, instantly turn into solid ice before quickly shattering. Facing the assault of a warrior at the Origin Fluid Realm, Meng Hongfei dare not take it lightly. He has to put Qin Yin down. Lie down for a moment. With a wave of his sleeve, his true origin erupts. Centered around the pair, a true origin shield is constructed. The ice spikes fall with a bang, looking like they're causing ripples on a lake. The veiled woman floats like a leaf, and her jade-white hand swings. A big hand made of ice crystals forms from the air and descends, making a move for Qin Yin and Meng Hongfei. "Humph, your heart is as generous as ever." Meng Hongfei's expression turns icy. His Danshin's true origin oscillates, emitting an aura as wild and raging as the sea. He slashes with his sword, and it's as if the void is being split in half. He attacks the giant ice hand of the woman resoundingly. Kill! The two black-clad men who arrived with the woman attack from the left and the right. Meng Hongfei glances their way and punches out into the air with his left hand. Boom! The void trembles with just a random hit. One of the black-clad men is blasted away, his flesh and blood nearly collapsing, and his life or death unknown. Meng Hongfei stomps his right foot on the ground. Stone slabs fly out and fall heavily on the other black-clad man. At the peak of the transforming origin realm, killing these black-clad men at the early and middle stages of the transforming origin realm hardly requires any effort. However, this doesn't improve his current predicament. Both the woman presently fighting him and the black-clad man at the origin fluid realm who is chasing him from behind are no weaker than him. If he gets caught in a pincer attack from the two, he'll likely face certain death. As expected, his rotten luck is at its extreme. What he fears Most has come to pass. Damn brat, die for me. As Meng Hongfei trades blows with the veiled woman, 2 blood-red attacks come at him from behind. Feeling the immense danger behind him, Meng Hongfei forcibly repels the veiled woman with a swing of his sword. Immediately his figure flickers, narrowly evading death. The 2 blood-red attacks end up striking the houses behind him. With a loud rumble, several houses collapse. In his haste to dodge the attacks, Meng Hongfei's face turned red. Before he could even breathe a sigh of relief, the black-clad man and the veiled woman simultaneously launched their attack. With a determination in his eyes, Meng Hongfei charges towards the veiled woman. Under these circumstances, the only chance of survival is to stake his own life. Among the 2, the veiled woman is slightly weaker. This is his only way out. Faced with a frenzied Meng Hongfei, the veiled woman chooses not to directly fight. After briefly clashing, she retreats a small distance. "They'll keep him distracted. You do the damage," the veiled woman tells the black-clad man. "Humph, don't talk to me in such a tone." The black-clad man coldly snorts, swinging his blood-red mace, which is mixed with tremendous power, and attacks Meng Hongfei. Meng Hongfei, in a hurry, lifts the blue-black treasure saber to block, only to be shot back several feet. When the ice spikes come from behind, he hurriedly uses his protection, True Origin. The sound of cracking resonates as his protection, True Origin, shatters, and extreme cold penetrates from his left arm. Even a heavenly pride who can face those higher than his level can still struggle when facing 2 Origin fluid realm martial artists at the same time. Meng Hongfei quickly falls at a disadvantage and is injured. Seeing this scene, Qin Yun, on the ground, unable to move, couldn't help but chuckle bitterly. "I told you not to get involved, but you didn't listen. Now you're completely stuck. We're not backed into a corner, yet avoid speaking such disheartened words." Meng Hongfei's voice was cold as ice, his grip tightening on his long saber. Even though his True Origin was dwindling, he did not show any signs of fear. Just a peak of the transforming Origin realm, yet able to withstand us, 2 martial artists of the Origin fluid realm, for so long. Such talent and strength would be wasted in death. "If you agree to join our holy religion, we can spare your life." The veiled woman was attempting to coax him from behind her veil, yet her hands did not cease their movements. Palms turning, pillars of ice shot up from the ground, blocking Meng Hongfei's retreat. The man in black unabashedly swung his double maces, relentlessly crashing onto Meng Hongfei's saber. Bang, bang, bang. The heavy double maces slammed down, and Meng Hongfei was sent flying once again. At the same time, the unexpected frost started to freeze him entirely, with bone-chilling cold attacking his whole body. "Ha, brat, you've run out of strength to hide, haven't you?" The man in black, wielding his double maces, approached step by step, a gleam flashing in his eyes. Even if Meng Hongfei had been turned into an ice sculpture, he remained cautious, slowly closing in. "Hurry, one can't hold him much longer," the veiled woman shouted impatiently. Upon hearing her words, the man in black suddenly picked up his pace. As he closed the distance within just 10 feet, the blood light on his double maces shone to its limit, piercing through the night sky. He viciously chopped them down onto the frost sculpture. Bam! The instant the double maces fell, the ice shattered and a pitch-black long saber emerged, blocking them. Following this, a purple light flickered. A long sword pierced through. A punctured sound was heard. It had penetrated through the chest and reached the back torso. Powerful sword chi began to surge along the blade. In an instant, Meng Hongfei held the sword and the saber and flew backward. However, before he could steady his posture, a surge of frost had already spread once more. His feet were restrained. The extreme cold, solid frost climbed up from his feet, quickly spreading up his body. This time, he had entirely run out of trump cards. Watching Meng Hongfei slowly transform into ice, the man in black cried out with his dying breath. A glare of intense hatred flickered in his eyes. However, that hatred was not only directed at Meng Hongfei, but also the veiled woman. He hated that Meng Hongfei managed to break out of his icy prison at the last moment. He hated that Meng Hongfei was skilled in both the sword and saber. Looking at the man in black, drawing his last breath, a tinge of complexity flashed in the veiled woman's eyes. Despite her intense rivalry with the man, she indeed did not go easy on him during the fight, and it wasn't her doing that Meng Hongfei was able to break free. Ah, only to blame your overconfidence. The veiled woman sighed lightly. Her figure floated down, her bare hand aimed for Meng Hongfei's forehead. She could confirm that her opponent was indeed incapable of resisting at this moment. Initially, one indeed had the thought of enrolling you into the holy religion, but since you killed him, even if you were to join the holy religion, you're destined to die. As her hand was about to land on Meng Hongfei's forehead, there was a sudden burst of fierce light that wiped away all the frost spread around him, as if it had met its ultimate nemesis. Right after that, the veiled woman's expression drastically changed. Her figure quickly retreated. What is this? Is it a rescue? Qin Yin forced himself to lift his head, seeing a person approaching through the air with an overwhelming golden light emitting from their body, driving back the surrounding darkness. Damn, this guy's entrance is a bit extravagant. I should try it next time. Unprovoked, this thought popped into his mind. However, he soon recognized the person in the golden light. His face looks somewhat familiar, as if he had seen him somewhere. He stared attentively. The face of the newcomer was instantly clear in his sight. It's him. Chapter 241. Slaying and Harvesting. Lu Yin! Senior Brother Qin Yin, are you all right? As Lu Yin landed in front of Qin Yin, his expression was calm. The other party was lying weakly on the ground, utterly unlike the martial academy's heavenly pride from 2 years ago. Meanwhile, Meng Hongfei on the other side had already fallen into a coma, his life and death unknown. On his way here, Lu Yun had already learned from Captain Zhang that Qin Yin and Meng Hongfei were the ones in danger this time. He had a good impression of both of them, so he put in even greater effort. This was not only because of the mission, but also because Meng Hongfei could be considered as his guiding senior brother. In the end, he finally arrived at the last moment. If he had been any later, the two of them might have already become wandering spirits. Once he confirmed the identity of the newcomer, Qin Yin finally let out a sigh of relief. I can barely even move my fingers. Brother Meng is probably not much better off. One can't fight alongside you, so everything depends on you now. Before, Qin Yin didn't know much about Lu Yun's strength and had only heard rumors about the latter passing the 20th floor of the Myriad Phenomena Tower, which was not much worse than his own. However, after witnessing Lu Yun's domineering entrance just now, Qin Yin knew that Lu Yun's actual strength was far more powerful than the rumors suggested. Lu Yun smiled faintly, then turned around and looked at the veiled woman, his gaze seemingly casual as he swept across the dark night. Senior Brother Qin, you just need to watch. Leave the others to me. Under the clear silver moonlight, a gentle breeze blew, lifting the veil of the woman standing in the sky, revealing her delicate and smooth jaw. Her purple dress fluttered in the wind, and her long and fair jade legs appeared faintly visible. Such a scene would inevitably cause any normal man to take a sideways glance. So you're Lu Yun. Beneath the mysterious veil, her crimson-red lips moved slightly and soft, clear voice sounded. So you know me? Although Lu Yun's expression was surprised, his heart remained calm as water. He had caused quite a commotion during this period, so it was only natural for the other party to recognize him. However, what surprised him was that these hidden evil cult forces within the Morijin realm seemed to have no awareness of his threat and never targeted him from beginning to end. Thinking back to the experiences of other martial arts protagonists in various novels, almost none of them had happened to him. As for this, Lu Yun could only attribute it to his good luck. The veiled woman brushed her forehead. Her watery, beautiful eyes looked straight at Lu Yun, and an icy smile appeared on her face. "You little thief, you've destroyed our White Lotus sex base before, and you're already on our hit list. If we could kill you, we'd be able to make up for all the losses." Ever since Lu Yun revealed his terrifying talent, he had been on the White Lotus sex blacklist. But he was always cautious, not showing himself for some time after each event and keeping his head down. Moreover, he spent most of his time in the Flying Spirit Martial Academy and County Capital. Both places happened to be no-go zones where the White Lotus sex forces didn't dare to interfere. Now that Lu Yun had finally shown himself, they couldn't afford to miss such a golden opportunity. Faced with the veiled woman's harsh words, Lu Yun just smiled gently, revealing what he thought was a warm smile. "To kill me, you alone won't be enough. What about us together, then?" No sooner had she finished speaking than the sound of whoosh, whoosh, whoosh rang out, and a group of black-clothed figures appeared from the darkness. There were a total of 12 black-clothed figures, 2 at the peak of the transforming origin realm, 2 in the late transforming origin realm, 3 in the mid-transforming origin realm, and 5 in the early transforming origin realm. At this moment, they all stood behind the veiled woman, staring menacingly at Lu Yun. "Damn, there are so many of them. We're really finished now." As Qin Yin saw one black-clothed figure after another appear, his heart sank. He felt that his luck was simply terrible. Mang Hongfei had come to save him, but now he was unconscious and his life or death was unknown. Lu Yun had arrived, only to be surrounded. Such terrible luck could only be described as utterly awful. "Lu Yun, why don't you just escape and leave us behind? It's not worth it." With so many enemies and such powerful strength, Qin Yin saw no hope of victory for Lu Yun. Lu Yun shook his head. "Slightly, I won't run. It's them who should run." As the words fell, his figure vanished from its original position and reappeared in front of the black-clothed figures in the next breath. He threw out a fierce chop, and the overbearing blade light sliced through the air. Boom! The air surged, and the powerful blade light descended. One of the black-clothed figures in the early transforming origin realm didn't have time to react, and with a poochy sound his body was cut in half. "Holy shit, this guy's so bloodthirsty." Seeing the tearaway Lu Yun, Qin Yin's face displayed astonishment. Although he had killed quite a few people, he never cut people directly in half like Lu Yun. Pathetically weak. With a look of contempt on his face, Lu Yun didn't stop his attacks. He took one step forward, his body shot out like an arrow and attacked another black-clothed figure from behind. The long blade fell, the head rolled, and blood splattered. Boom! Boom! 2 consecutive slashes, and another 2 black-clothed figures lost their lives. The entire process was simple, direct, brutal, and bloody. Has Lu Yun's strength really reached this level? Having regained a bit of strength and begun to heal, Qin Yin nearly dropped his jaw in shock at the bloody scene, even forgetting to continue his healing. An Origin Fluid Realm Warrior. 12 transforming Origin Realm Warriors from early to peak stages. Such a powerful lineup. Chapter 242. Slaying and Harvesting Undersword 2, however, in front of Lu Yun, there was hardly any resistance. This scene deeply shocked him. Boom! The veiled woman moved like a willow catkin, her figure instantly landing above Lu Yun's head as a soft, cold palm struck down. From the side, 2 transforming Origin Realm Peak black-clothed men attacked simultaneously, their sword light like lightning and their spear radiance like a long rainbow. Meanwhile, Lu Yun held his blade, showing no panic. Just as the enemy's attack was about to arrive, his right foot fiercely stepped down, and a powerful true origin exploded out, sending the two transforming origin, realm peak, black-clothed men flying. His body soared up, bathed in thunder and lightning, and a bloody blade light shot from Lu Yun's hand, leaving trails of blood wherever it passed. With a single slash, it collided with the veiled woman's frosty jade palm. The powerful wind dispersed, and the woman's purple dress fluttered as she flew backward. Simultaneously, the mysterious veil slowly fell, revealing a stunning and delicate face. In those beautiful eyes, shock and disbelief filled them. How can he be so strong? As soon as Lu Yun appeared, she had noticed his cultivation level, only in the late stages of transforming origin realm. With such cultivation, even if his talent was exceptional and his combat power terrifying, how could he match up against her in the origin fluid realm, let alone the dozen transforming origin realm helpers? Therefore, when Lu Yun appeared, she was both shocked and delighted. As long as she could kill the three heavenly prides of the Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Lu Yun, Meng Hongfei, and Qin Yin, she would receive a considerable reward when returning to the sect. But after taking action, she immediately regretted it. His single blade could easily break through her secret techniques and severely wound her. This wasn't a late-stage transforming origin realm cultivation. Even the late stage of origin fluid realm would not be much different. Die. Lu Yun flew up, his long blade lifted high, and a blade light stretching tens of feet emerged. The terrifying blade light, imbued with powerful aura origin and second-rank slaughter conception, enveloped the woman's enchanting figure. Boom! The ground was slashed with a huge blade mark, and thunderous blade chi scattered in all directions. The woman in the purple dress landed on the ground, her eyes full of resentment and shock, staring at Lu Yun. Yu dashed before she could finish. A terrifying force burst from her body, accompanied by flashing light. Then, the purple dress clinging to her delicate body shattered into fragments, and her enchanting figure explosively split in half, flesh and blood flying. Lu Yun, save me. Just then, several black-clothed men charged toward Qin Yin. At this moment, Qin Yin was too weak to even block a body-tempering realm martial artist, let alone a transforming origin realm one. Courting death. Thunderous purple light flickered, covering the nearly 100 feet distance in an instant. Before the black-clothed men could reach Qin Yin, Lu Yun's long blade slashed out. The blade rose and heads fell. Only when the byak-clothed man's body heavily crashed in front of him did Qin Yin regain his senses and breathe a sigh of relief. That was close, so close, almost died again. In just one day, and within a few short hours, he had experienced life and death several times, which undoubtedly was a massive test for his mental fortitude. Looking back, Lu Yun frowned slightly. Just as he rescued Qin Yin, the remaining black-clothed men had vanished into the night. It doesn't matter, the mission is considered completed anyway. If it weren't for Meng Hongfei and Qin Yin, he might have been able to chase after the fleeing men and kill a few more. Lu Yun gently shook his head. His long blade turned and returned to its sheath before looking at Qin Yin. Senior Brother Qin, you should focus on recovering first, and 111 go check on Senior Brother Meng. Yes, hurry up and check on him. Looking at the unconscious Meng Hongfei lying on the ground, Qin Yin's face showed obvious worries. The two of them had been close friends, and their friendship had grown even deeper after experiencing this crisis. So it was natural for them to worry about Meng Hongfei's situation. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't get up, he would have rushed over to check it out himself. After checking casually, Lu Yun finally showed a smile. Senior Brother Meng doesn't have any big problems. He's just exhausted his true origin. Coupled with the invasion of the cold true origin, he's temporarily in a coma. He should wake up before long. Good, as long as he's fine. Hearing that Meng Hongfei was okay, Qin Yin finally sighed a breath of relief and began to recover his strength in peace. On the other side, Lu Yin's gaze suddenly fell on the body of the purple-clothed woman that he had killed. When he saw a purple ring on her finger, his face suddenly broke into a bright smile. Could this be a Sumi ring? With a wave of his hand, the purple ring flew into his palm. It was indeed a Sumi ring. A Sumi ring was worth at least 10,000 contribution points in the Martial Academy. Even Lu Yin couldn't afford to exchange for it. He didn't expect to have such good luck today. Not only did he complete the rescue mission, but he also gained a Sumi ring. Moreover, this Sumi ring had a space of 100 cubic meters, far more than ordinary Sumi rings. In addition, what delighted Lu Yin was that there were nearly 1,000 spirit crystals in the Sumi ring. Besides that, there were also 2 jade bottles, each containing a pill, the Origin Extreme pill, and a Poria Blue pill. The Origin Extreme pill was a top-grade, 5th-grade pill. When taken by a martial artist in the Origin Fluid realm, it had a chance to temporarily improve their strength to the peak of the Origin Fluid realm. However, there was also a certain chance of backlash. Those who experienced backlash would have their cultivation level reduced by 1 stage, but their lives would not be in danger. Poria Blue pill, on the other hand, was also a top-grade, 5th-grade pill. As long as a martial artist below the Origin Fluid realm took it immediately after suffering any level of injury, they could instantly recover to their peak state. This woman's identity is probably not simple. Whether it was the Sumi ring with 100 cubic meters of space, the Origin Extreme pill, or the Poria Blue pill, any of these alone would compare to the total wealth of a typical Origin Fluid realm martial artist. Yet this woman had all 3. It was evident from this that the woman's identity within the White Lotus sect was not that simple. After searching the bodies of the others, he found another Sumi ring with a space of 10 cubic meters and several Sumi bags. In that Sumi ring, he only found an ordinary 5th-grade pill and some spirit crystals. As for the other Sumi bags, nothing valuable was found except for a few 4th-grade pills and some clothes. However, even so, these were still considerable gains for Lu Yin. He would find an opportunity to dispose of the extra Sumi ring and Sumi bags, which would bring him another good profit. Lu Yin cleared away all the unwanted items and finally transferred all the pills and spirit crystals to the purple Sumi ring. Casting aside his distracting thoughts, he looked at the scattered items and corpses on the ground and immediately activated the White Lotus fire to engulf them. The blazing flames burned in the darkness of the night, the bodies turning to ash at a visible speed. A few breaths later, there were no traces left on the ground except for some broken walls. After Lu Yin finished disposing of the bodies, Captain Zhang finally arrived. Glancing at Qin Yin, who was sitting on the ground with his eyes closed, and Meng Hongfei lying on the ground, he carefully looked around and didn't see any enemies. Captain Zhang then whispered, "Are Lord Meng and Lord Qin all right?" "There's no big problem. They have just overexhausted their true origin and suffered some internal injuries. They just need to rest for a while." "As long as they're fine, that's good." Captain Zhang nodded repeatedly, and then, as if thinking of something, he said worriedly, "Harvest County is not safe now. We need to take them to a safe place." Lu Yin smiled faintly. The people of the White Lotus sect who were supposed to die have died, and those who escaped have escaped. If they don't have more powerful help, they shouldn't be coming back. He didn't say that the strongest enemy had already been annihilated by him. Immediately after that, Lu Yin thought of his recent gains and had a new idea. Senior Brother Meng won't wake up for a while, so it's not good for him to lie on the ground like this. It would be better to find an inn or a restaurant. "Captain Zhang, you can help Senior Brother Qin." "All right, one know there's a good restaurant nearby with a quiet environment. It's suitable for the 2 lords to recuperate." Chapter 243. Breaking through the peak, blood like mercury in the room. Lu Yin sat cross-legged, his mind now completely immersed. Name, Lu Yin Force, Flying Spirit Martial Academy, Cultivation Technique, Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon, Transforming Origin Chapter, Great Accomplishment 1%, Astonishing Wind Saber Manual 4th Layer, Breaking Extreme 100%, Life Destruction Saber Techniques 1st Layer, One Strike Ensigns 100%, Wind Thunder Manual 2nd Layer, 3000 Thunder Movement 16%, Innate Talent 7 Stars Martial Arts, Late Stage of Transforming Origin Realm, Energy Value 54, automatically increase by 2 per day, Conception, Slaughter Conception, 2nd rank 17%, Skill, Level 4 Alchemy Technique, 81%, Talent, White Lotus Flame, 3rd rank 1%. The Slaughter Conception had increased by 3 progress points compared to before, proving that even when killing people, the Slaughter Conception could still be improved. With this new discovery, Lu Yin was naturally overjoyed. However, what made him even more delighted were the items in front of him. In front of him were the pills taken from the White Lotus sect members. 4 bottles of 4th grade pills, including both healing and cultivation enhancing ones, totaling 26. 1 bottle of ordinary 5th grade pills for enhancing cultivation, containing only 5. Additionally, there were 2 top grade 5th grade pills, the Origin Extreme Pill and the Poria Blue Pill. The aura origin surged and enveloped the 4th grade pills in an instant, beginning to refine them. Plus 4,100 energy value. Next, he began to refine the ordinary 5th grade pills. Plus 4,500 energy value. Finally, he refined the Origin Extreme Pill and the Poria Blue Pill. Plus 6,000 energy value. In just a few hours, his energy value had soared to 14,600, making him wonder whether to rob and kill for treasure. Compared to alchemy, the former was undoubtedly faster and more efficient. However, the thought was quickly extinguished. Those who frequent the river's edge are inevitably soaked. Robbery is a tightrope which narrows as you walk it, and one misstep leads to irreparable consequences. On the contrary, practicing alchemy quietly is the path of sunshine. Of course, occasionally walking along the tightrope isn't bad either. Gathering his thoughts, Lu Yun's attention falls on the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon Origin Transformation Chapter. The Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon Origin Transformation Chapter is now at the Great Accomplishment level. Although there is no more detailed information on the panel, Lu Yin can sense that the limit of the Transforming Origin Chapter is far from perfection. According to his previous experience, once a martial art or cultivation technique is elevated beyond perfection, it will develop other functions such as martial arts conception, breaking physical limits, and improving innate talent, etc. Lu Yin is looking forward to the effects of the Transforming Origin Chapter after it is elevated to above perfection. Consume energy value, enhance cultivation technique, absorb heavenly and earthly spiritual qi, and convert it into aura origin. Throughout the night, Lu Yin stayed in his room, making every effort to enhance the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon Transforming Origin Chapter. It's worth mentioning that when enhancing saber techniques and footwork, one only needs to integrate the gray-robed man's memories and insights into their mind to elevate their saber technique and footwork to the corresponding levels. However, when elevating the Pure Yang Martial Arts Canon through the use of points, the gray-robed man's ears, or even decades of cultivation insights need to be integrated to enhance the cultivation technique to the corresponding level. After the cultivation technique is enhanced, one still needs to absorb the heavenly and earthly spiritual qi and convert it into the aura origin. However, compared to ordinary cultivation, the speed of accumulating aura origin in this way is extremely terrifying, almost comparable to the effects of sudden enlightenment experienced by heavenly prides. Boom, boom, boom. In his dantian, endless heavenly and earthly spiritual qi was constantly being transformed into aura origin, and the booming sound kept coming. It felt as if ferocious beasts were roaring, like tidal waves crashing relentlessly on the reef's edge. As the pure yang martial arts canon transforming origin chapter was elevated to perfection 1%, the surging pure yang strong origin had become extremely dense, gradually filling his dantian tightly. His cultivation technique has not yet reached true perfection. As soon as it reaches perfection 100%, his dantian will be completely filled with aura origin. In order to continue enhancing, the aura origin must be converted from a gaseous state to a liquid state, and then one can step into the origin fluid realm. If the cultivation technique is elevated to the reach profound level, perhaps my dantian will undergo a qualitative change. Lu Yin silently thought. Then his gaze fell on the panel. Name: Lu Yin Cultivation Technique, Pure Yang Martial Canon, Transforming Origin Chapter, Perfection 1%. Martial Arts, Peak of Transforming Origin Realm, Energy Value. 6E2, 2 automatically added daily. At this time, the panel displayed additional information about the Pure Yang Martial Canon, Transforming Origin Chapter, describing the level of perfection. Each progress so achieved requires the consumption of 120 energy points. Compared to the Great Achievement level, which requires 80 energy points, this represents an increase of 1/2. Such a change in the energy requirement did not come as a surprise to Lu Yin. However, the energy consumption for promoting in the perfection level of the Transforming Origin chapter is equivalent to that of the second level of Wind Thunder Manual, 3000 Thunder Movement. This means that the consumption of energy for the Pure Yang Martial Canon Transforming Origin chapter far exceeds the consumption for the second level of Wind Thunder Manual. This wasn't unusual, as the Pure Yang Martial Canon was the foundation of Lu Yin. After consuming 6,000 energy points, the progress of the Pure Yang Martial Canon Transforming Origin chapter had reached 51% perfection. Through absorbing countless heavenly and earthly spiritual energy, the quantity of Pure Yang Strong Origin surged once again on its original basis. As the space in the dantian was limited, the growing numbers of Pure Yang Strong Origins had no choice but to huddle together, making them appear even more dense and thick. Under such circumstances, the abundant Pure Yang Strong Origins could only go crazy, circulating through the meridians in Lu Yun's body. During this process, the flowing Pure Yang Strong Origins in the meridians grew in number, transforming from turbulent rivers into endless great rivers. These rivers collided within the meridians, flowing throughout the body, refining every bone and muscle in Lu Yun's body. The flowing blood looked as heavy as cinnabar within his body. I have a feeling that within a short amount of time, my physical body will be comparable to those at the Golden Body Realm, Lu Yun thought to himself. He then drew the white scale, purple gold knife and slashed at his palm. Even the superior true artifact, class, white scale, purple gold knife couldn't penetrate the defense of his physical body. Even using half his strength, the knife still could not leave a mark on his palm. Lu Yun's strength at this point could be compared to the full power of a martial artist in the early Transforming Origin realm. This means that if Lu Yun were to stand still while a martial artist at the early Transforming Origin realm attacked him with a superior true artifact, he wouldn't be hurt in the slightest. From this, it is clear that as the continuous refining process of Pure Yang Strong Origins goes on, Lu Yun's physical strength has ascended to another level. After using 1/10 of his strength, his tough skin breaks, and a drop of blood as heavy as cinnabar oozes from the wound. The blood contains a hint of extreme force, as well as a faint aura of the extremely strong yang principle. Ever since Lu Yin refined the fire seed, the white lotus fire had spread throughout his body, constantly purifying the residual traces within his body and blood. Aside from this, when Pure Yang Strong Origins circulated in his body, it also gradually increased the strength of his physical body in a subtle way. Now, every drop of blood and every cell in his body contained white lotus fire and pure young strong origins. The blood drops onto the ground. Thud! It sounded like a lead ball dropping onto the wooden floor, a dull sound resonating throughout. This sight caused Lu Yun's pupils to slightly constrict. Normally, when a drop of blood falls to the ground, even in a very quiet environment, it would not make much noise. But at this moment, his drop of blood made a dull, resonating sound upon impact, causing the wooden floor to vibrate slightly. The power contained in that drop of blood must be at least such that it weighed several pounds. Lu Yun's eyes flickered. Now, at the peak of the transforming origin realm, a single drop of Lu Yun's blood contains the weight of several pounds, similar to a humanoid demon beast. If his strength continues to improve in the future, just how powerful would his blood become, and how terrifying would his physical body become? Now he finally understood why martial artists and demon beasts would gradually close the gap between their physical abilities as they progressed. Upon reaching the golden body realm, a martial artist's physical body could be on par with that of a demon beast. Furthermore, martial artists could use various means to compensate for the gap in power with demon beasts, thus not being at a disadvantage when confronting them directly. Immediately after, Lu Yun's gaze shifted to where the blood had dropped onto the ground. As the strong origins evaporate, the blood slowly solidifies. But on the wooden board, a black pit remains, as if it had been burned through. Chapter 244. Great Wilderness Major City. The next day at noon, the sun was directly overhead. As Lu Yun pushed the door open and came to the first floor, he saw Meng Hongfei and Qin Yin, both of whom had fully recovered to their peak state, and there was a strong, murderous aura around them, as if they had just gone through an intense battle. After a brief thought, Lu Yun knew that the two of them must have wiped out all the forces connected to Harvest County and the White Lotus sect. Lu Yun slightly bowed his fists. Congratulations to both senior brothers for not only recovering, but also completing the task. We owe it all to junior brother Lu for arriving in time. Otherwise, Qin brother and I wouldn't have seen today's sun, let alone completing the task. Qin Yun's face showed lingering fear, as it seemed that he was truly tormented by last night's experience. Upon hearing these words, Meng Hongfei's face was also not looking too good. The two of them, both being second-level Sky Patrol guards, had indeed suffered a great setback in this small Harvest County, and the murderous aura that had not yet dissipated became even more intense. However, it soon settled down. He wasn't the kind of person to get angry easily. It was just that this setback was deep enough to leave an enduring memory. So, when cleaning up the Huang family in Harvest County, he did not hesitate. When slaying the high-ranking officials of the county government office, he showed no mercy. The Sky Patrol Guard, as long as they found someone with connections to the evil cult, regardless of their identity and status, had the authority of life and death. The Huang family and the high-ranking officials of the county government office were not only connected to the evil cult, but thoroughly became peripheral forces of the White Lotus sect. Meng Hongfei's gaze landed on Lu Yun, becoming much softer. Junior brother Lu, what do you plan to do next? If you don't have a place to go for now, you can join the Sky Patrol office with Qin brother and me. With your strength, you can directly become a second-level Sky Patrol guard. Lu Yun shook his head slightly. One was on my way to the Great Wilderness Major City, and just happened to be passing by Harvest County when I received the task from the Martial Academy. Now that the task is completed, I need to continue on my way to the Great Wilderness Major City. Otherwise, it will be too late. Upon hearing Lu Yun's words, Meng Hongfei and Qin Yun's eyes flashed with brilliance, and their killing intent surged. They both wanted to go with Lu Yun to support, but being Sky Patrol guards, they had their own burdens to bear. In that case, I won't persuade you anymore. With junior brother Lu's current strength, your support should be able to lessen the burden on the defenders of the Great Wilderness Major City. But I have a few words for junior brother Lu. Please, senior brother Meng. First, don't reveal all your cards unless it's a life-or-death crisis. Second, no matter what benefits the Black Tiger Army offers, don't join them. Lu Yun frowned slightly. I can understand the first rule, but why can't I join the Black Tiger Army? Joining forces like the Black Tiger Army that control provincial armies would undoubtedly add a shackle to yourself, and it would be very difficult to break free from it unless you become the highest level in the army. If junior brother Lu likes to hone your skills by slaying demon beasts, the Monster Extermination Army is undoubtedly the best choice, as it is more lenient and the top choice for martial artists and martial academy disciples. After a brief conversation, Lu Yun bid farewell to the two of them. Now, in Ling Province, let alone the entire Spirit Martial Prefecture, the hidden evil forces of the past are becoming more active. Meng Hongfei and Qin Yin must return to Sky Patrol Office, ready to go on missions at any time, so they couldn't accompany Lu Yin to the great wilderness major city. In fact, whether it was slaying demons or exterminating monsters, it was a kind of training and a way to fulfill their duties and contribute to the Morijin dynasty. Everyone's choices were different, but the ultimate goal remained the same. In the 835th year of the Morijin dynasty, on the 20th day of the 5th month, the Demon Beast Army invaded Spirit Martial Prefecture en masse, and the martial artists and civilians in the border counties became food for the demon beasts. Of these, the Eastfield Giant City and the Great Wilderness Major City were the most critical defense lines, facing the greatest pressure. In just 5 days, the Black Tiger Army of the Great Wilderness Major City had suffered 10 massive attacks from demon beasts, an unprecedented intensity. With every battle to defend the city, tens of thousands of Black Tiger Army soldiers and martial artists sacrificed their lives, and even several Origin Fluid Realm commanders fell. Even if the war was extremely fierce, the Black Tiger Army could not be defeated. If they were defeated, the consequences would be unimaginable. Great Wilderness Major City was one of the most important gateways to Spiritual Martial Prefecture. Once it fell, the demon beasts, like a tidal wave, would be able to rampage into Spirit Martial Prefecture unimpeded. At that time, the entire Spirit Martial Prefecture would become the backyard of the demon beasts, trampled at will. The sky hadn't even darkened yet when Lu Yun arrived at the Great Wilderness Major City. There were also many martial artists entering the city with him. None of the cultivation levels of these martial artists who volunteered to help were lower than the Meridian Passage realm, and the number of true Qi realm martial artists could be counted by the hundreds. There were even more martial artists in the city, coming from Spirit Martial Prefecture and the surrounding prefectures. For these idle martial artists, each time they helped defend against a beast tide was an opportunity for them to rise to prominence. Martial arts were widespread in Morijin, but cultivation techniques were ultimately controlled by the martial academies, the court, and a small number of aristocratic families. For ordinary civilian martial artists, their access was limited to martial arts. To obtain cultivation techniques, they had 2 options: join the army or a court institution and exchange their meritorious service for cultivation techniques. The cultivation techniques exchanged for merits could not be shared with others. In addition to this, the merits obtained from slaying demon beasts could also be exchanged for the pills they needed for cultivation. Moreover, after these martial artists obtained a cultivation technique and broke through to the Origin Fluid Realm, they would have to join the Monster Extermination Army or the Demon Suppression Army to obtain more powerful cultivation techniques. This was why Morijin could still have the strength to explore the endless great wilderness while suppressing the evil cults and demon sects. Lu Yin. As soon as Lu Yin entered the city, a voice called out to him. Lu Yin looked towards the source of the sound and saw an old familiar face. It was Liang Shaowen from the Grey Parasol Martial Arts Academy. 2 years ago, he had fought side by side with him in Eastfield Giant City. He didn't expect to meet him here today. With Lu Yun's sharp eyes, it was obvious that Liang Shaowen's cultivation had already reached the mid-stage of the transforming Origin realm. In just 2 years, he had advanced from the true Qi 9 refinements to the mid-stage of the transforming Origin realm. He was indeed a heavenly pride of the Gray Parasol Martial Arts Academy. Furthermore, Liang Shaowen had already begun to touch upon the true Qi 10 refinements back then, so his true strength was probably more than what his appearance suggested. Brother Liang. Lu Yun greeted with a smile and a bow. He had had a good relationship with Liang Shaowen in the past, and now that they were reunited, a knowing smile appeared on his face. Haha, I can't believe it's really you. Liang Shaowen walked over with a silver-white spear and gave Lu Yin a big hug. Seeing an old friend again after many years was naturally an emotional moment. Is Xiao Qin not with you? After hugging each other, Liang Shaowen suddenly remembered something and asked. He still vividly remembered the battle with the demon beasts outside Eastfield Giant City back then. His own strength had improved so much in the past 2 years, partly because he had been inspired by Lu Yun and Xiao Qin. Hearing the mention of Xiao Qin, Lu Yun trembled slightly, and the image of a young man with a handsome face and an icy demeanor flashed through his mind. Lu Yun shook his head slightly and smiled. Speaking of which, I haven't seen him for a long time. Hearing this, Liang Shaowen also sighed softly and revealed a bitter smile on his face. Ah! Since we parted last time, I haven't seen Zhongquang, Lu Wuhin, and the others either. With their talents, they should be at least at the transforming origin realm by now. Lu Yun nodded in agreement. The two of them were no less talented than Liang Shaowen, and it was unheard of for them not to advance to the transforming origin realm within 2 years. Let's go register together, Liang Shaowen suggested. With more and more martial artists gathering, and the Black Tiger Army's high-ranking officials issuing a wartime reward system, they needed to register and receive relevant items before joining the battlefield in order to facilitate post-war settlements. Otherwise, in the chaotic battle between tens of thousands of troops and demon beasts, it would be impossible to determine who killed how many demon beasts. We shouldn't delay any longer. Let's go. Lu Yun nodded in agreement. In a short while, they arrived at a huge, wide-open square. However, their arrival did not cause much of a stir. Although their cultivation of transforming origin, realm peak, and mid-stage was good among the numerous martial artists, they were not the most outstanding. Chapter 245, Slaying Demons, Accumulating Points Soon. The two of them completed their information registration and received a jade token. Martial artists and soldiers who possess this token can earn points by slaying demon beasts. These points correspond to their value and can be exchanged for various items after the war is over, based on the amount of points stored in the jade token. Commander Su, these two will join your team. A high-ranking officer of the Black Tiger Army, responsible for registering the martial artists, called out to a sturdy, dark-skinned general in black armor. Commander Su, who was in the middle stage of the origin fluid realm, looked at Lu Yun and Liang Shaowen with a smile on his face. Ha ha ha, finally I got 2 decent ones. Both of them were at the transforming origin realm, and Lu Yin was even at its peak. With their cultivation base, they would be a great addition to the team he led. As every moment passed, new martial artists continued to arrive at Great Wilderness Major City. Lu Yun and Liang Shaowen followed Commander Su out of the square and headed to their camp. Along the way, they saw countless martial artists and a massive Black Tiger Army, a sight far grander than when they had defended Eastfield Giant City against the Beast Tide. At the same time, the two realized that the upcoming battle would be unprecedentedly fierce. This kind of fight was not a one-on-one battle, but a large-scale melee. The strength of a single person would not have a significant impact unless it reached a certain level. Commander Zu's team consisted of more than 2,500 Black Tiger soldiers and over 400 martial artists, including Lu Yin, totaling less than 3,000 in all, far from reaching even 3/5 of their full strength. And this did not even take into account the reinforcements they had been receiving. This showed just how great the price paid to defend this great wilderness major city was. However, no matter the cost, the great wilderness major city must be defended. Up to now, we have engaged in 10 fierce battles with the demon beasts. There will be more intense battles ahead, and perhaps some of us will fall, including myself. But I want to tell you that as long as you survive this battle, cultivation techniques, pills, and weapons will not be a problem. The more demon beasts you kill, the greater your gains. With twinkling eyes, Commander Su looked down at the martial artists and black tiger soldiers, delivering an impassioned speech to boost morale. At that moment, the war horn sounded in the distance. Damn it, they won't even let us rest. Here they come again. Commander Zu's face turned grim as he glanced at the darkened sky in the distance. He bellowed, "Follow me and repel the enemy! Move out!" The various commanders waved their hands and shouted in unison. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The soldiers and martial artists of the Black Tiger Army began running, the ground shaking beneath their feet. They quickly reached the top of the city wall of the great wilderness major city. Hiss! Upon seeing the scene from miles away, even the normally composed Lu Yin couldn't help but gasp. An endless wave of demon beasts charged, raising billowing clouds of dust as demon energy filled the sky like black clouds. The trembling of the ground echoed through the heavens. Damn, this is the first time I've ever seen such a terrifying tide of demon beasts. Liang Shaowen muttered, his spear glowing faintly. These demon beasts had huge bodies and ferocious faces, brimming with brutal, bloodthirsty auras. Like a boundless tidal wave, they surged towards the great wilderness major city. This is horrifying. Another martial artist in the transforming origin realm exclaimed, admiration for the Black Tiger Army welling up as he witnessed the massive scale attack of the demon beasts. If such an enormous army of demon beasts were to flatten the great wilderness major city and enter marine territory, it would mean absolute devastation. Boom! A dark shadow descended from the sky. It was the main commander stationed in the great wilderness major city, Lu Shanyong. He unleashed a terrifying aura, smashing his fist into the leading demon beasts. Their blood sprayed like rain, staining the ground crimson. Defying gravity, the air around him rippled as he killed these demon beasts with the ease of crushing ants, for he was at the peak of the golden body realm. He slashed his sword, a streak of light as fast as the limits allowed. The sword's radiance burst forth as it struck the earth, cleaving it apart. Numerous third and fourth rank demon beasts splintered apart, their blood spurting out. Humans, your opponent is me. This demon beast had an elephant head and human body. Standing 10 meters tall, it had a pair of long eyebrows, phoenix-like eyes, a beautiful voice, and a maw with fangs. Its nose resembled a flood dragon, and its powerful aura was like a storm. If anyone familiar with this demon beast were here, they would recognize it as a 6th rank peak 6-tusked black elephant from deep within the Cloud Dream mountain range. The 6-tusked black elephant soared skywards, its fist-like hooves charging at Lu Shanyong. Boom! With a despair-inducing slash, the 6-tusked black elephant was crushed down, leaving a deep crater in the ground. Around it, demon beasts were struck dead by the impact. Roar! From the pit emerged the towering 6-tusked black elephant. Its enormous maw had 6 pillar-like tusks, and its thick, flood, dragon-like trunk gleamed with a black luster. Just one glance at it, with the strong demon energy that swirled around it like dark clouds, was enough to evoke intense despair and terror. The huge 6-tusked black elephant, almost 80 meters tall, charged into the sky, drawing forth a turbulent demon energy as it attacked Lu Yongxing once again. Its trunk, like a flood dragon, stirred the wind and clouds and shook heaven and earth. It remained unscathed even as it collided with Lu Yongxing's powerful sword strike. Chapter 246, Demon Slaying, points_2 in regard to this. Lu Yongxing was not surprised. Over the span of just a few days, he had faced off against this opponent no less than 10 times. He was well aware of the strength of the six-tusked black elephant's physique. Of course, Lu Yongsheng was already at the peak of the golden body realm, so his physical strength didn't fall too far behind that of his adversary. A man and a beast clashed wildly, soon carving out a separate battlefield between them. General Chen, General Yang, of the remaining 3 sixth-rank demon beasts, each of us will engage one. The rest of the commanders and generals will lead their forces to fend off the demon beast army. Huang Sheng bellowed, immediately charging towards a beast of massive stature. Chun Sheng and Yang Yuan, 2 assistant generals from the great wilderness major city, were both masters of the golden body realm. They leaped into the fray like 2 burning suns. Their bodies emanated dazzling luminescence as they met the sublimely horrific demon beasts head-on. As they leaped into the fray, swinging their swords, the power they displayed set off a storm of blood in the midst of the demon beast army. This relentless carnage continued until they were finally stopped by 2 powerful 6th-rank demonic beasts. Arrows! The readied heavy crossbowmen all shot in unison, their arrows soaring into the demon beast army like a violent rainstorm. The lower-ranked beasts could not withstand this barrage and were pierced straight through. Still, the demon beast army was staggeringly large, rendering the damage dealt by the heavy crossbows relatively insignificant. As the demon beast army drew alarmingly close to the city, one black-armored general yelled, "All soldiers, follow me into demon slaying!" As the words fell, he charged out in the lead. The many assistant generals and commanders roared loudly, their bodies rippling with powerful true origin fluctuations. From atop the city walls, they jumped down and charged into the fray. Kill! The Black Tiger army, entirely prepared, surged forward. While the city walls were tall and majestic, they could surely not withstand the onslaught of the demon beast army. They simply could not allow the enemy to come any closer. Lu Yun and the other martial artists were also aware of this, so they charged out alongside the Black Tiger army. "Brother Lu, why don't we compete again and see who ends up accruing the most points?" Despite the overwhelming demon beast army, Liang Shaowen was still high-spirited. He turned to Lu Yun and suggested with a faint smile, even though he knew he might not be able to match Lu Yun's power, his fighting spirit remained fiery. "A competition? Isn't that unnecessary?" Lu Yun reminded him, "Brother Liang, we should be more careful on a battlefield of this scale." After saying this, Lu Yun quickly dashed towards the demon beast army. "He's right. If you are not careful on this intense battlefield, you may end up dying without even knowing how." Another middle-aged transforming origin realm martial artist glanced at Liang Shaowen and said evenly, "Recently, even powerful origin fluid realm experts have fallen. Our strength is far from theirs. If we're not careful, and a powerful beast sets its sights on us, or we are surrounded by beasts, we are sure to die." At his words, Liang Shaowen's smile slightly faded, and he responded courteously, "Thank you for reminding me. I seem to have indeed gotten carried away." Of course, he knew this, but when with Lu Yin, he couldn't help but want to compete, to see how far behind he was. However, this sentiment was something he didn't feel at liberty to share with outsiders. "Haha, kill these humans." Upon seeing the Black Tiger army and martial artists leap from the city wall, a giant 5th-rank demon beast, towering 60 or 70 feet tall, spoke human language and charged at them. "Kill!" Endless demon beasts surged forward like unstoppable rapids. Heavy crossbowmen launched arrows from the city wall, and the densely packed Black Tiger army and martial artists charged out. In what felt like an instant, the first true melee had erupted. Not much longer, and the battlefield quickly expanded, like an enormous geyser gushed up from the heart of a lake, causing terrifying waves to spread at an extremely rapid pace in all directions. Chaos, chaos, utter chaos. 2 or 3 beasts would gang up to attack a single Black Tiger soldier. A number of black tiger soldiers would reciprocally gang up on a single beast. On this vast battlefield, there was simply no room for one-on-one combat. What existed was only a crushing tide of carnage. While engaging a beast in heated combat, at any moment another beast, or two, might pounce from other directions. This is why on a chaotic battlefield like this, placing all your focus on fighting secures but one fate, death. Kill! With a glowering, icy look on his face, Commander Su led the Black Tiger Army, Lu Yun and other martial artists, and soon carved out another battlefield, charging ahead. He was a mid-term expert in the Origin Fluid realm, clad in black armor, wielding a black lance. His movements were powerful, and when he approached a fourth-rank beast, he thrust his lance hard towards it. With a whoosh, the fourth-rank beast had its skull pierced through by his lance, dying on the spot. Humans seeking death. A huge demon beast transformed into a colossal black shadow and lunged forward. It was a mid-stage fifth-rank demon beast, the mighty wild bull. With a loud boom, the thick hooves collided with Commander Zu's long spear, triggering a wave of terrifying windstorms. Beast die! Commander Su roared angrily and swung his black spear, its radiance rippling like waves. The heavy, black demon energy was scattered off by the spear thrust that contained a terrifying power. Bang! Once again, it was blocked by the mighty wild bull. Seeing the strongest fifth-rank demon beast engaging in a fierce battle with Commander Su, the rest of the Black Tiger Army and martial artists began to make their move. Snow Dragon Song. Liang Shaowen, who had already advanced to the mid-stage of the transforming Origin realm, was showing increasing proficiency in his spear techniques. After comprehending his own martial arts Dao, his spear techniques had reached a peak. With a single thrust of his spear, a radiant silver dragon-like lance erupted, piercing through a fourth-rank early-stage demon beast. So strong! The middle-aged martial artist was shocked as he witnessed this scene. They were both transforming Origin realm martial artists, but he was several times weaker compared to Liang Shaowen. This young man is either one of the exceptional talents from the martial academy or from those aristocratic families. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the strength that far surpasses his own realm, he thought to himself. The middle-aged martial artist silently struck a third-rank demon beast that the Black Tiger Army had encircled. With a downward movement of the giant axe, the head of this third-rank demon beast dropped instantly to the ground. Haha, 120 points in my pocket. The middle-aged martial artist could not suppress the smile on his face. For him, killing a third-rank demon beast was not anything difficult, but to be safe, he would rather share the points with others than take a risk alone. With such a vigilant attitude, he was able to remain in good shape after 5 rounds of intense battles. At this moment, Lu Yun swung his sword again. Clang! A single swing of his blade sent out a fiery blade glow as if it were a heavenly sword, instantaneously cleaving a fourth-rank, late-stage demon beast in half. What a terrifying strength! An assistant general of the Black Tiger Army nearby was stunned. This late-stage fourth-rank demon beast was something he could barely handle, yet it couldn't even withstand a single strike from Lu Yun. To what extent has Lu Yun's strength reached? With a complex look in his eyes, Liang Shaowen thought to himself. He had believed that, after 2 years of cultivation, the gap between him and Lu Yun should have narrowed down. But Lu Yun's one strike shattered his illusion. 3,452 points. Lu Yun was startled by the points accumulating on his jade card. Through the brief moment of killing, he had roughly learned the corresponding points of the demon beasts. Killing a first-rank demon beast earned 1 to 4 points. Second-rank demon beasts gave 10 to 40 points. Third-rank demon beasts could reward between 100 to 400 points. The late-stage fourth-rank demon beast that I just slain gave me 3,000 points. Lu Yun's eyes flashed, and he instantly moved towards another fourth-rank mid-stage demon beast, targeting it for his next kill. A sword was drawn, a sword fell, and it was killed instantly. The points on his Jade card changed again, reaching a total of 4,673 points. A mid-stage fourth-rank demon beast, and there are less than 2,000 points. For a moment, Lu Yun was puzzled, then turned his gaze back on the dead demon beast's body. After noticing several wounds on the beast's body, realization dawned on his face. Chapter 247. Defying 8 with 1. By working together with others to kill demon beasts, the final points obtained are both whole and decimal. In this way, as long as you inflict damage on the demon beast or contribute to the killing process, you can get corresponding points. Lu Yun glanced at the jade slip, which showed his current points. Participant, Lu Yun points, 4,673, over 4,000 points. Lu Yun smiled slightly. The war has just begun. Human boy, embrace death. A blue-winged condor at the early stage of the 5th rank attacked. The blue-winged condor, an early-stage 5th rank flying demon beast, was on the same level as a human-origin fluid realm martial artist. Its pair of blue wings were immune to blades and spears, water and fire, with terrifying defense and destructive power. With a dive, it stirred up a wave of blue, leaving a trail of green light as it went. The surrounding black tiger army couldn't dodge in time, their bodies being pierced one after another. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The blue-winged condor quickly arrived in front of Lu Yun, its pair of blue wings like a giant blade, slashing towards him. Clang! Lu Yun swept away the blue-winged condor with a single strike, with his powerful saber chi spreading out and killing the other demon beasts around him. This blue-winged condor is quite strong, probably on par with the mid-origin fluid realm. Only like this could it survive after taking a strike from Lu Yun. Lu Yun closed in with a scries of slashes, the blue-winged condor struggling to cope with the attacks. Soon, the incredibly powerful blue-winged condor, with a strength comparable to a black tiger army commander, was covered in wounds. Its body was drenched in blood, except for its pair of blue wings. Human, you have successfully angered me. I will tear you apart alive. The blue-winged condor's eyes showed a fierce color. Its body then started spinning like a storm, with its 2 wings acting like heavenly blades, cutting apart everything around them. Both demon beasts and humans alike were indiscriminately attacked. Run. This demon beast has gone mad. A black tiger army commander shouted, leading his troops to move to other locations. The other demon beasts were also afraid to approach, fearing that they would accidentally be sliced by the blue-winged condor's terrifying wings. Seems to have something. The blue-winged condor's mad assault caught Lu Yun's attention a little bit, but not much more than that. With killing intent surging, Lu Yun's aura suddenly soared as he charged into the sky, striking with his blade. With a splatter, the pair of blue wings which were causing the storm suddenly stopped in their tracks. The powerful saber chi exploded like a waterfall falling from the sky, landing all over the blue-winged condor's body. Boom! The blue-winged condor's massive body crashed to the ground. Although it wasn't killed instantly by Lu Yun's strike, his blade held the power of the 2nd rank slaughter conception. Empowered by it, the saber chi continued down the seams of the blue-winged condor's wings, invading its vital spots and obliterating its life force. Roar! The blue-winged condor didn't expect Lu Yun's strength to be this terrifying. With just one strike, its hitherto unbeatable move was forcefully broken, and the pain on its body made it scream aloud. Evil beast, die! The long blade broke through the air with a brilliant light. It covered the sky as the chi from the blade fell towards the struggling, blue-winged condor in the deep crater below. 1 breath, 2 breaths. As the blade light dissipated, the blue-winged condor's massive body had been split in half. The demon beast's blood erupted, quickly forming a small red lake. The blue-winged condor was killed by Lu Yin. Commander Su, who was fighting the giant strength mad cow, was shocked by the situation. The giant strength mad cow was also a mid-fifth rank demon beast. Although it might be stronger than the blue-winged condor in terms of power, it wasn't necessarily more powerful overall. But such a terrifying blue-winged condor was killed by Lu Yin just like that, which was simply unimaginable. Moreover, Lu Yin was only at the peak of transforming origin realm. Yet he managed to slay a mid-fifth rank blue-winged condor in such a short time. This unheard-of prowess moved even Commander Su. At this moment, he was glad that Lu Yin had joined the Black Tiger army under his command. Just one Lu Yin was worth a senior origin fluid realm martial artist. With Lu Yin, the Black Tiger army's losses would be greatly reduced after this battle. Participant, Lu Yin points, 254. 51 after slaying the blue-winged condor, Lu Yun's points skyrocketed to over 25,000. At the same time, his slaughter conception progress had increased to 21% in the second rank, equivalent to 20% of the second rank. He found that slaying first and second rank demon beasts increased his slaughter conception progress by very little. Now, if he wanted to continue to improve his slaughter conception, he had to slay demon beasts above the third rank. However, if I want to improve quickly, I have to slay fifth rank demon beasts. Lu Yun had noticed before that slaying 2 fourth rank demon beasts only increased his slaughter conception progress by 3 percentage points. But just one blue-winged condor contributed nearly 10 percentage points. Compared to points, Lu Yun valued the increase in his slaughter conception progress more. After slaying the blue-winged condor, Lu Yun no longer aimed to kill demon beasts with his blade. Only third rank and above demon beasts were his targets. One massive demon beast after another fell. His points on the jade slip sword and his slaughter conception rapidly increased. As the number of demon beasts in the surrounding battlefield decreased, Lu Yin began to pay attention to the events tens of feet away. From the beginning, he had been aware of the giant strength mad cow fighting against Commander Su. In his eyes, it was not just a demon beast, but a large number of points and a resource to improve his slaughter conception. Chapter 248. 1 against 8_2. Just at this moment, Commander Su noticed that in the battlefield under his charge, the high-level demon beasts had been almost all killed, leaving only a few low-level ones that could no longer pose a significant threat. Lu Yin, join me in killing this damn beast. As expected, Lu Yun gladly agreed. Humans, do you think I'd give you the chance? When the powerful bull sensed that the number of demon beasts in the battlefield was dwindling, it had already decided to retreat. Now, feeling a strong aura rapidly approaching, it did not hesitate to flee from Commander Su and rushed towards another battlefield. Boom, boom, boom. The ground shook as the power of the bull made leaps spanning dozens of feet, its speed incredibly astonishing. You're not getting away. As soon as Lu Yun demonstrated his extraordinary combat prowess, Commander Su had already prepared to kill the powerful bull, so he remained alert for any attempted escape. A demon beast at the mid-fifth rank is considered a high-level combatant among the demon beast army. If it escaped to wreak havoc elsewhere, the damage would be incalculable. Oh no, the powerful bull is charging over here. The Black Tiger army troops were terrified. The powerful bull, a mid-fifth rank demon beast, would easily exterminate a large group of body tempering and meridian passage realm soldiers with just a collision. Damned beast die. At the crucial moment, Commander Su unleashed his hidden trump card. In a burst of great speed, he reached the sky above the powerful bull. The black lance in his hand flickered with light, and the shadows of countless thrusts cascaded down like a torrential rain, all aimed at the bull's enormous body. Despite the powerful onslaught, the damage inflicted on the giant beast was minimal. yet it successfully blocked its escape route. Damn it! The furious bull's lantern-sized eyes turned bloodshot, and it was forced to retreat. Prison chain, frenzied dragon. As the commander of the Black Tiger Army, Commander Su naturally wielded a formidable spear technique. His figure appeared like a falling star, and in true origin and martial arts intent quickly surged into the long spear. With a thrust, the spear pierced through the void. This strike felt like it could shatter the sky. Even the defensive power of the giant bull was terrifying. It now had a long bloody wound on its body. The blood gushed out like a fountain, violently pouring out. As not much difference existed in their strength, it was not easy for either side to claim victory quickly. The powerful bull, worried about facing the combined attack of Lu Yun and Commander Su, lost its fighting spirit. As it tried to flee, Commander Su seized the opportunity and gained an advantage. Following Commander Zu's terrifying attack, the powerful bull was severely injured, but not fatally. "Humans, you won't be able to hold me back." With its ferocious hooves stomping the ground, the surrounding area of dozens of feet instantly collapsed. Taking advantage of this shockwave, the powerful bull shot up into the sky, making a desperate attempt to escape. Watching this scene, Commander Zu's brow furrowed. If he forced himself to stop the bull's escape, he would risk suffering severe injuries. Additionally, he may fail in stopping it. With the outcome of the battle still undetermined, getting severely injured would only bring him closer to death. After some thought, Commander Su finally gave up the idea of interfering. Just then, it was as if Commander Su had discovered something. An indiscernible flash of thunderbolt domain suddenly appeared, and the surrounding void was immediately influenced, with ripples emerging. Following that, overlapping layers of purple thunderbolts materialized, lightning flickered, and electric light intertwined. In an instant, a purple world emerged between heaven and earth. At the center of the purple world stood a teenager dressed in a star robe. In the blink of an eye, the range of the purple thunderbolt domain extended to the distant horizon. Lu Yin, carrying the thunderbolt domain, appeared above the powerful bull. With a stomp, his intense force landed on the bull's horns, and the destructive energy of the thunderbolts rapidly spread throughout the massive bull's body. The fizzling and crackling thunderbolt power pierced through its incredibly thick flesh, traveling throughout its body, causing it to tremble violently. Coupled with the nearly 200,000 pounds of colossal force that Lu Yun unleashed, the powerful bull was violently thrust back to the ground. It crashed heavily, stirring up a massive cloud of dust. "Well done! Excellent! Marvelous!" Seeing the fallen, powerful bull, Commander Su shouted his approval 3 times, revealing his inner excitement. The power of brother Lu Yin! At this point, Liang Shaowen was completely stunned. As for the other martial artists and soldiers of the Black Tiger Army who witnessed the scene, they were at a loss for words to describe it. All they could do was channel the excitement in their hearts into their fighting spirit as they battled the demon beasts. Roar! 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 At this moment, in the demon beast army, several roars rang out in succession, shaking the sky, and waves of powerful demon energy swept over. The sudden turn of events made Commander Zu's face change drastically. "Ha ha ha! My reinforcements have arrived. Now it's my turn to launch a counterattack." Enormous wild bull stood up from the deep pit, ignoring the crackling thunder on its body and laughing loudly. "You have no chance." A dull voice sounded, and then the light of a blade suddenly bloomed, rapidly turning into endless blade shadows, quickly filling the giant eye sockets of the enormous wild bull. As the long blade fell on the robust body of the enormous wild bull, the endless blade shadows instantly converged, gathering on the long blade. Flet! The pair of incredibly hard horns were severed, and the razor-sharp long blade penetrated the skull, tearing apart any signs of life with its rampaging force. Though Lu Yin had slain the enormous wild bull, no one could rejoice. Boom! 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 8 mountain-like demon beasts stepped towards their direction. The ground shook violently, and a terrifying oppressive force mixed with powerful demon energy approached. Among them were scale-armored creatures, giant apes covered in thick fur, and spiders with sharp, massive legs. Each emitted a powerful aura, creating an overwhelming sense of pressure. My God, 8 fifth-rank demon beasts are heading our way. Are we doomed? The many martial artists felt the oppressive terror as their faces turned pale and panic rose in their hearts. Even the resolute soldiers of the Black Tiger Army harbored thoughts of retreat at this moment. Everyone, don't be afraid. These demon beasts are not targeting us, a commander dressed in black armor commanded sharply. Upon hearing this, everyone looked again and indeed saw the truth. It turned out that the 8 fifth-rank demon beasts were all headed in one direction. That was precisely where Lu Yun was positioned. This human is incredibly powerful, even killing the old bull. Let's attack together. We need to hold him off. We can wear him out. 2 demon beasts rushed forward first, and in their eyes looking at Lu Yun, there was a hint of apprehension. Soon, for more fifth-rank demon beasts arrived, surrounding Lu Yun. In the sky, 2 flying beast demons swooped down. At this moment, Lu Yun also felt the pressure. Among these 8 demon beasts, 2 rank in the late 5th rank, 3 in the middle, and 2 in the initial stage. Through the demon energy and the oppressive aura they emitted, Lu Yun immediately determined their power. In addition, many 3rd and 4th rank demon beasts are approaching. If I get entangled with even one of the beasts, I will immediately be besieged by a group of high-rank demon beasts. Although my power is stronger than any individual beast, I can't resist their sheer numbers. Once I'm entangled, I'll be shredded by the surrounding demon beasts. This is the terror of the battlefield. Without overwhelming power and endurance, one could be entrapped in a heavy siege, making escape nearly impossible. A large group of monsters rushed forward, and if not for the reliance on his sensory domain, he would have already evaded the demon race's great army. Kill! Although Lu Yun was somewhat apprehensive, he was not afraid. Compared to his peers, he was best at dealing with group attacks. He even hoped more demon beasts would come to attack him. Then he could use the least amount of aura origin to kill even more demon beasts. Everyone else, retreat quickly. I will stay and help Lu Yun. Commander Su tightly gripped his black spear, his face solemn, and yelled at the Black Tiger Army and the other martial artists behind him. Only a martial artist in the origin fluid realm like him could deal with a 5th-rank demon beast. If other Black Tiger Army soldiers were caught up in the fight, they would only be slaughtered. Chapter 249. Destroying the decaying and uprooting the rotten gaga. Kill this human, and then divide his flesh among ourselves. The 8-legged demon spider with a mouth as big as a basin swallowed and spat out its snake-like tongue, its eyes filled with greed and blood red. He's mine. None of you should compete with me. A giant ape with lush hair pushed away the surrounding demon beasts and glared at Lu Yun. The amazing vitality contained in Lu Yun's flesh deeply attracted it. Don't be careless. This human has already killed 2 of our companions in a row. His strength is not to be underestimated. The giant python covered in scale armor raised its upper body high, its thick waist shining with cold light, while its gloomy eyes shone brightly and demon energy lingered on its sharp teeth. Another 5th-rank late stag demon beast, a tall black bear, said coldly, "Let's attack together, and whoever kills this human will get his flesh. Is that okay?" Okay. The other demon beasts dared not disobey the words of the strong black bear. Follow me, smaller ones, and kill this human. A group of demon beasts led by the 8 5th-rank beasts rushed towards Lu Yun at the same time. Even the strongest in the golden body realm would be cautious when facing such an oppressive atmosphere created by the rise in demon energy. Despite the situation, Lu Yin remained calm, showing no signs of panic. As the numerous demon beasts drew closer, an eerie flame flickered in Lu Yun's eyes. Boom! At this moment, a powerful flame soared into the sky, causing the surrounding temperature to rise rapidly. Chi, chi, chi. 3 third-rank white lotus flames condensed into 3 fiery lotus flowers surrounding Lu Yin. The burning white flames around him made him look like a king of fire. Die! With a roar from Lu Yin, the 3 pure white flame lotus flowers transformed into a sea of fire, instantly swallowing the charging demon beasts. One after another, the demon beasts wailed and rolled, clearing out a large area. When the flames dissipated, there were no more demon beasts within a dozen feet of Lu Yin. The remaining demon beasts stared at him, not daring to step forward for the moment. Just one move wiped out nearly 100 demon beasts. Such terrifying power stunned the remaining beasts and made them feel fear. What kind of flame is this that even 5th-rank demon beasts dread it? Commander Su, who was about to come to the rescue, was shocked and astonished. He knew that some alchemists or martial artists refined fire seeds and controlled spiritual fire, but he had never seen or even heard of someone like Lu Yin who could create a fire sea with a wave of his hand. With one strike that annihilated nearly 100 demon beasts and dealt such a wide-ranging blow, how much true origin would it take to generate such power, and how high would the limit of this white flame be? 2 brilliant rays of light burst from Lu Yun's eyes. As his cultivation advanced to the peak of the pure yang realm, the white lotus flame in his hands became even more terrifying. However, launching such a wide-ranging and intense attack also consumed a significant amount of Lu Yun's power, almost wasting nearly 10% of his aura origin. 1/10 of Lu Yun's pure yang aura origin was more than the total true origin of an ordinary, transforming origin realm peak. From this, we can see how great the consumption caused by such an attack really was. After suddenly slaying so many demon beasts, Lu Yin's jade scroll points shot up, breaking the 100,000 mark. Besides, his slaughter conception also soared, reaching the 2nd rank 48%, increasing by more than 10 points. Kill! Unleashing terrible speed, Lu Yin transformed into a thunderbolt and charged into a group of demon beasts. He's not running away, but charging in instead. Quick, stop him. Surround and hold him. These demon beasts hadn't fully encircled Lu Yin yet, but they were already under his active attack. Your speed is too slow. Simultaneously with Lu Yin's rapid teleportation, he had already slashed with his blade. An array of sword light shone. With one flash of the blade, 2 demon beasts were slain, one of the 4th-rank early stage and 2 of the 3rd-rank late stage. The blade light flashed again, and 2 more demon beasts were cut down. With thunderbolt light flickering, Lu Yin's figure moved swiftly among the demon beasts, slashing and killing several beasts every time the blade light flashed. Even a formidable opponent like Lu Yin was afraid of being entangled by one of the demon beasts and falling into a full-scale siege. The only thing he could do now was to eliminate as many demon beasts as possible and reduce the pressure on himself. With this goal in mind, Lu Yin was moving in an irregular pattern within the group of beasts. Under the 3,000 thunder movement technique, the 5th-rank demon beasts could not catch up with him, let alone hold him down. Blade light flashed again and again, easily reaping the demon beasts that had gathered once more to attack Lu Yin. Each slash of the blade was more than 10 feet long, cutting the massive bodies of the demon beasts in half. Such bloody slaughter made the demon beasts that were about to attack again shiver in fear, and gradually they all consciously gathered around the few 5th-rank demon beasts. Flowing wind. At this moment, murderous intent surged in Lu Yun's eyes as he fully utilized the 2nd-rank slaughter conception for the first time. A massive, Blood-red blade light appeared, swirling around like a tornado and cutting the world in half as it attacked a 5th-rank demon beast covered in scale armor. Boom! This demon beast was in the early stage of the 5th rank, its strength comparable to a martial artist in the early stage of the origin fluid realm. It had never expected that Lu Yun, who had been avoiding it, would suddenly attack. Its scale armor was instantly shattered, and its body was sent flying. Wounds covered its mutilated body, and blood flowed continuously. Chapter 250, Destroying the Decayed, Uprooting the Rotten, Part 2. Lu Yun brandished his long knife and attacked again. With the white scale, purple-gold knife in his hand, bolstered by the pure yang-strong origin and slaughter conception, it exerted a terrifying power. Another beast of the 5th rank initial stage was unable to resist and soon fell. That's too fierce, too horrifying. Despite being surrounded by so many demon beasts, he can still exert such immense pressure. Only a Golden Body Realm expert can achieve this. The sight of Lu Yun's startling achievements made Commander Zu's heart surge with excitement. Make way! 3 5th-rank demon beasts launched their attacks. One was a 6-legged giant demon spider with incredibly thick legs, which left huge pits wherever it trampled. The other 2 were enormous flying creatures. With just a single flap of their wings, they traversed a distance of over 100 feet. They were the first to reach Lu Yun's head. The dazzling light from their wings rained down like a torrent of arrows, trying to envelop him. It was a swift and wide-ranging attack, and even using the 3,000 thunder movement, Lu Yun could not dodge it right away. The best defense was offense. With a determined heart, Lu Yun soared into the sky and unleashed his breaking extreme slash. His speed and power increased by more than 3 times. With just one slash at full strength, even a 5th-rank middle-stage demon beast could not withstand his attack. After his speed and power increased by 3-fold, his overall strength had reached an inconceivable level. Whipping up the endless gale, a tornado stormed. The flying creature's projectiles were shot down from the sky. In the midst of the tornado, a heaven-shaking blade light burst out, stretching across half the sky in an instant. The onlookers only saw the massive body of one 5th-rank flying demon beast being split in half by the blade light, one wing on each half slowly falling from the sky. At the same time, Lu Yun's body landed on another 5th-rank flying demon beast, surrounded by flickering electric light and permeated with killing intent. He gripped the long knife with both hands, channeling his strength and pure yang-strong origin into it, and fiercely stabbed it into the back of the flying creature. A wailing sound echoed across the sky as the enormous creature writhed in pain, flapping its wings frantically and flying erratically in the air. This creature had a huge body and terrifying vitality, so a single slash was not enough to kill it. As a result, the horrifying long knife was stabbed in and out repeatedly, leaving one bloody hole after another on its body. After seemingly being stabbed for a dozen times, the 5th-rank flying demon beast let out a feeble wail before crashing down from the sky, turning into a cold corpse. The moment Lu Yun descended alongside the corpse of the flying creatures, the 6-legged demon spider had swiftly arrived. Its speed was unparalleled. Its 6 razor-sharp, scimitar-like legs exuded a chilling light as they violently crashed down, instantly piercing the body of the flying creature and turning its blood a pitch-black color. Clearly, the 6-legged demon spider possessed a lethal poison in its sharp legs, which even a 5th-rank demon beast could not resist. With such deadly venom, Lu Yun didn't think he would be able to defend against it. As a result, he identified the 6-legged demon spider as the most dangerous among the gathered demons. The 6-legged demon spider moved with astounding speed. However, Lu Yun was even faster. He had no intention of getting entangled with the creature and evaded the ambushes of the other 5th-rank demon beasts when he could, rapidly eliminating the low-level demonic beasts. He was currently not in the mood to check his progression points or slaughter conception progress, but he could clearly feel that his slaughter conception was rapidly increasing, which was evident from the increasingly dense killing intent around him. Whoosh! 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 The six-legged demon spider suddenly leaped, its gigantic body covering dozens of feet in an instant. The surrounding demon beasts were stomped into bloody mud under its feet, their black blood flowing, creating a horrifying scene. However, it had also closed the distance with Lu Yun to just a few dozen feet and suddenly opened its massive maw. White Spider silk shot out, trying to engulf him like a torrential flood of webs. At such close range, and with the six-legged demon spider's web-spitting speed being unmatched, it had confidence in capturing Lu Yun to become its prey. But this was just the creature's wishful thinking, as it had underestimated Lu Yun's reaction time and speed. Lu Yun let go of the two demon beasts he had been slaying in front of him, flickering with lightning as he instantly appeared dozens of feet away. The six-legged demon spider's white webs captured 6 other demon beasts that couldn't dodge in time. They wailed in pain and were swiftly reduced to bloody mud within the web. Damn it! Seeing his killing move so easily avoided by Lu Yun, the six-legged demon spider felt resentful, but there was nothing it could do. Kill! Lu Yun executed his movement technique and charged towards the 2 close-ranged 5th-rank demon beasts. One was a fearsome pig monster, its tusks several feet long, a sharp weapon at first glance. The other one was a sheep monster, sporting a long goat beard on its chin, its eyes showing flashes of wisdom and composure. Upon seeing Lu Yun charging towards it, the creature swiftly disappeared into the crowd of nearby demon beasts. After watching Lu Yun attack the tusked pig monster, the sheep monster's eyes turned sinister. This human is currently at his peak state. If one step in now, I can block him, but one will seriously injure myself, eventually only benefiting him. It's best to just harass him for now. I can't make my move yet. However, after the first burst, he must eventually weaken and then become exhausted. No matter how strong this human is, he can't hold on for much longer. I must grasp the opportunity to strike. Chapter 251. Effortlessly destroying Rotten would understand 3 even among the demon beasts. There were calculations and struggles with each other. Compared to humans, they were not much different. This pig monster was at the mid-stage of the 5th rank, extremely ferocious, and managed to withstand Lu Yun's strike head-on. At the same time, the 6-legged demon spider chased after them, its 6 sharp claws forming a blade mountain as it attacked, while the pig monster engaged in close combat. Piffed, piffed. Entangled by the 6-legged demon spider and pig monster, other 5th-rank demon beasts were quickly closing in. Lu Yun knew that he couldn't panic or be impatient now. Only by steadily battling could he defeat them one by one. As he calmed down, his control over the surrounding situation became extremely clear, and the traces of the 6-legged demon spider and pig monster's attacks all fell into his view. He could see everything with absolute clarity, as long as he could clearly see their attacks. A mid-stage, 5th-rank demon beast wouldn't pose a significant threat to Lu Yun. With a shift of his saber light, Lu Yun managed to redirect one of the 6-legged demon spider's sharp claws, so that its mountain of blades attack fell entirely on the pig monster. The extreme poison of the 6-legged demon spider posed a great threat to the 5th-rank demon beasts. Therefore, after receiving one of its strikes, the wound on the pig monster gradually grew darker, and its soaring demon energy was momentarily halted. My chance is here. Lu Yun's figure flashed, appearing in front of the pig monster, with his saber bursting out, slashing down. Bang! The pig monster reacted quickly, blocking the strike, but its incredibly sharp tusks were cut off, and a horrifying gap appeared above its mouth. Seeing this, a pain stirred in the hearts of the other demon beasts. Meanwhile, the deadly poison left by the 6-legged demon spider on the pig monster quickly took effect and spread throughout its enormous body, causing its battle strength to drop drastically. Die. Lu Yun soared into the sky, his saber light flickering, and an immensely powerful slash descended from above. Pucci! The sturdy head of the pig monster fell from its neck, and its massive body, lacking the support of its spirit and evil consciousness, collapsed onto the ground with a loud bang. Having dealt with the pig monster, Lu Yin felt the pressure greatly reduced and could divert more attention to dealing with the six-legged demon spider. Compared to the pig monster, which possessed low intelligence and only knew brute force, the threat posed by the six-legged demon spider was much greater. What? Seeing the flying head and headless body of the pig monster, a shiver ran down the spine of the six-legged demon spider. The pig monster's death was not good news for it. A strong sense of unease rose in the six-legged demon spider's heart as it noticed a powerful aura erupting from the human youth, accompanied by a terrifying sense of biting cold. Not good. Realizing something was wrong, the six-legged demon spider tried to flee, but Lu Yun's attack had already arrived. It was the first move of the 100 flowers from the astonishing World Extreme Wind Saber Manual, an incredibly fast and fierce storm and gulf strike that enveloped the area spanning tens of meters and landed on the massive body of the six-legged demon spider. The six-legged demon spider's strong body could withstand the blow, but its speed was significantly hindered. The saber light flickered, the cold radiance attacking the now immobilized six-legged demon spider as it could only brace for the impact. Pucci, one of its sharp claws, was cut off. Another slash, and the six-legged demon spider was left with only 4 claws remaining. Reduced to a 4-legged demon spider, its defense was no longer as perfect as before, and a massive flaw was exposed. This flaw would be fatal for it. The killing intent in Lu Yin's eyes reached its peak as his speed surged, accompanied by a bloody red murderous energy that pierced through the fatal flaw with an ultimatum slash. Crack! With a slash, a head soared into the sky, followed by a spray of blood that corroded the ground like acid rain. Surrounding demon beasts, which didn't care about being stained with the poisoned blood of the six-legged demon spider, fell one by one. Idiots, they're just idiots. Hidden among the group of demon beasts, the sheep monster, which was always ready to launch a final strike, trembled in anger. In its view, had the six-legged demon spider not carelessly injured the pig monster, it could have held on a bit longer. As long as the human martial artist exhausted his strength, it could have harvested him perfectly. But now, that human martial artist still appeared to be in peak condition. No, this human seems even stronger than before. As it watched the crimson energy swirling around Lu Yin, the sheep monster couldn't help but shiver. Although its strength was not that high among the group of demon beasts, its premonition for danger was the strongest among them. Chapter 252. Third rank slaughter conception, six-legged demon spider, pig monster, 2 flying beasts, and the first scale-armored demon beast. A total of 5 5th rank demon beasts killed in succession. This astonished all the other demon beasts. These were 5th rank demons, among which 2 were at the mid-stage of the 5th rank, able to easily release their demon energy, and yet they were slain. Slaughter conception has increased to 2nd rank 81%. Lu Yin knew very well that with every 5th rank demon beast he slew, his slaughter conception increased, and his control over killing intent became even stronger. Today, there's hope to raise it to the 3rd rank. As Lu Yin's figure quickly moved, his eyes constantly scanned the surrounding environment. He had already successfully broken through 8 5th rank demon beasts, leaving only 3. The black bear and giant python were late-stage 5th rank demon beasts, and the sheep monster was mid-stage 5th rank. Now, with the black bear being held up by Commander Su, Lu Yin's target was the giant python and the sheep monster. Although in terms of strength, he could easily crush these 2 5th rank demon beasts. The number of clustered demon beasts around them was more than twice what it had been at the beginning. Swoosh! Lu Yin finally took the initiative to charge toward the giant python. Feeling the pressure getting stronger, he decided to risk using a trick. If he could quickly eliminate the late-stage 5th rank giant python in a short time, the other demon beasts would be deterred and wouldn't dare to continue rushing forward to die. Finally stopped running. The giant python noticed that the building-like figure was quickly approaching. Its body was relatively large, and compared to other demon beasts, it was slower. However, its overall strength was undoubtedly the strongest. Seeing that Lu Yin was no longer running, but instead charging straight at it, the python breathed a sigh of relief. "You've killed so many of my brothers. Let's see how much strength you have left." Greed flickered in the python's lantern-like pupils as its huge body swung wildly, swiftly moving forward. Compared to the colossal python, Lu Yin looked like a tiny speck, easily crushed to pieces. At least, that's what the other demon beasts thought. Not good. This mad python strength is extremely close to the 5th rank peak. If this human falls into its hands, all my efforts will be futile. What should I do? Hidden among the pack of demon beasts, the wise eyes of the sheep monster flickered as it considered its options. It could easily sense the incredibly tempting essence of flesh and blood contained in the tiny human's body. Once it devoured it all, it had great confidence in advancing to the late stage of the 5th rank. Although unwilling, it did not dare to show itself. On one hand, it feared that its food would be snatched away by other demon beasts. On the other, it was afraid of being killed by its food in return. The sheep monster's heart was at odds with itself. Wait a little longer, just a little more. In the end, the sheep monster made up its mind and chose to continue lurking. "You guys don't come up. Just surround and keep him from running." The giant python ordered. "I will personally crush him to death. You don't need to interfere. Just provide me cover." Hearing the python's words, the 3rd and 4th rank demon beasts finally breathed a sigh of relief. They were truly afraid of this human who had continuously slain several 5th rank demon beasts. If it hadn't been for the forced order, they would have gone to other battlefields by now. Compared to the terrifying mass murderer Lu Yin, they preferred devouring low-level martial artists. The lower the level of the demon beast, the lower the conditions required for their advancement. For 3rd and 4th rank demon beasts, even devouring Meridian Passage realm martial artists would be of great benefit to them. Looking at the arrogant giant python, Lu Yin's eyes grew cold, his murderous intent even greater. This beast relies on its terrifying physical defense, thinking I can't handle it. However, the fact that it doesn't let other demon beasts assist is good news for me. Lu Yin thought to himself, eyeing the thick and profound scale armor on the python's body. Each piece of scale armor was like a piece of battle armor, extremely hard. Even with the infusion of slaughter conception, it could only leave a shallow mark on its body, unable to cause significant damage. This terrifying defense made the giant python even more difficult to deal with than an actual 5th rank peak demon beast. "Gaga, human, obediently become my food." The python's raised tail spat out beams of yellow light, slamming towards Lu Yin. The moment they hit the ground, thick earth pillars emerged. At the same time, its agile and robust body whipped its tail across the terrain, leveling the surroundings instantly. Lu Yin's figure flashed, appearing behind the python. The light from his long knife flashed, striking the python's rear. With a soft sound, sparks flew from the python's body. Without a doubt, Lu Yin's strike had not been successful, and he retreated immediately. It seemed to have anticipated Lu Yin's action, as the giant python's tail swept down, causing a thunderous roar in the air. Boom! Dust filled the air and debris scattered. What a terrifying force! If hit by it, the consequences would be unimaginable. Seeing the enormous ravine left on the ground, Lu Yin's eyes flickered warily. Initially, he thought he could easily slay the giant python. Even if the mid-stage, 5th rank sheep monster took a simultaneous action, he wouldn't feel much pressure. But looking at it now, he had been too optimistic and underestimated the python's strength. Chapter 253. 3rd rank slaughter conception _2. The defense and strength of this big guy are far stronger than those of a late 5th rank, even if its speed is slightly lacking. Its overall strength is definitely stronger than the average peak 5th rank demon beast. To kill it, it looks like I'll have to use my true strength. At this moment, Lu Yun's eyes changed, and his momentum soared once more. 100 flowers. Lu Yun hacked out madly with his saber. Swish, 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 swish. Dozens of yards-long saber lights flew out, and in the blink of an eye, Lu Yun swung nearly 100 blows, each one landing on the giant python's body. Even though he knew it wouldn't be very effective against the fearsome flesh body of the giant python, Lu Yun persisted. Chi, 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 chi. The saber light landed on the giant python's body, colliding with the hard, thick scale armor, emitting a piercing sound and a shower of sparks. Ha ha ha, little insect. Are you trying to scratch my itch? The giant python laughed loudly, its head suddenly rising, and its enormous body rolled towards Lu Yun like a gigantic mountain. With purple lightning flashing around him, Lu Yun dodged. Although the giant python's physical defense and strength were terrifying, its speed wasn't on the same level as Lu Yun's. He quickly put some distance between them. After putting some distance between them, Lu Yun soared into the sky and executed the second move of the astonishing wind saber manual. Gale! Sand and stones whipped through the air as a storm swept up the giant python's massive body. Inside the storm, terrifying saber lights streaked out and landed on the giant python with cracking sounds. Compared to the previous technique, Gale was undoubtedly more powerful, causing even the fearsome giant python to feel the pressure. Aya! It'll tear you to pieces. Feeling the intense pain on its strange body, the giant python let out an angry roar, its colossal body furiously whipping around, creating deep trenches in the ground with its tail. Seeing the somewhat crazed giant python, the surrounding demon beasts retreated one after another, hiding far away. They all knew how terrifying their python commander was. If it really exploded with anger, anyone close by would be affected. Whether it was an enemy or their own kind, death would be the result. Even the sheep monster, also a 5th rank demon beast, slowly retreated. It knew very well how powerful the giant python was and didn't want to be accidentally harmed by it. Meanwhile, its fear and greed toward Lu Yun grew stronger. The mentality of seeking wealth through danger applied to demon beasts as well. Clang! The third move came. Countless saber shadows danced between heaven and earth, and the dazzling saber light emitted a blinding radiance. The onlooking demon beasts could sense the overwhelming pressure from afar. Wind Extreme Saber Classic's third move, Celestial Dance, arrived. Extremely condensed saber light drew upon the power of heaven and earth, creating dozens of yards long, densely packed arced blade lights that sliced from the giant python's head to tail, leaving no part untouched. PFFF, 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 PFFF. The hundreds of even more condensed saber lights were too fast and too powerful. As they sliced through, the giant python's incomparably hard and thick scales finally couldn't hold up. From its waist, piece after piece of black scales fell off, and blood flowed out. Although this move still didn't cause fatal damage to the giant python, it had already exposed its weak point. So this is your Achilles heel. Seeing the location of the python's injuries, Lu Yun's eyes flashed coldly. Clang! The fourth move, Breaking Extreme. The moment the python's fatal weakness was exposed, it felt the crisis of death and immediately opened its huge mouth to spew out the yellow energy column again. Its huge mouth just opened, and Lu Yin sensed it very clearly, but he didn't dodge at all. The moment he found the opponent's weakness and executed breaking extreme. The outcome of this battle was already determined. With lightning flashing around his body, his speed suddenly surged to more than 3 times his previous speed. The 10-yard-long saber light sliced down toward the python's body. Before the giant python could spit out the yellow energy column, its colossal body was severed in 2 by the saber's edge. The upper half of its body, which had just risen like a skyscraper, crashed down with a thunderous sound. The giant python, whose overall strength was no less than a peak 5th rank demon beast, had thus been killed, leaving the surrounding demon beasts who had been covetously watching Lu Yun stunned. How could such a terrifying giant python, an almost invincible existence below the 6th rank demon beasts, be killed by this human? Shock, fear, and awe. Watching the saber-wielding Lu Yun slowly approaching, these demon beasts began to tremble, their bodies retreating involuntarily. Even the giant python was killed. This human is not someone I can mess with. The sheep monster's eyes flickered as it let go of its greed and turned to run away. It was afraid that it would follow in the footsteps of the 6-legged demon spider, pig monster, and the giant python. By relying on his own strength to kill so many 5th rank demon beasts without receiving any injuries, Lu Yin's displayed power completely intimidated the sheep monster. With the sheep monster's escape, the other demon beasts finally found their backbone and started running as well. Seeing the demon beasts retreat, Lu Yin stopped advancing and did not give chase. Earlier, to help him, Commander Su had blocked another late 5th rank demon beast. Given Commander Zu's strength, he could only deal with middle 5th rank demon beasts. Encountering a stronger demon beast would lead him to his death. Chapter 254. 3rd rank slaughter conception under 3 as expected. Elsewhere, under the relentless attacks from the black bear demon, Commander Zu's situation became precarious. Roar! Resembling the rumbling of thunder, the shockwave produced by the bear's roar formed a fan-shaped impact in front of it, causing the surrounding rocks, trees, and small hills to burst apart one after another under the shockwave's influence. At the moment of the bear's roar, Commander Su hastily sealed his ears with true origin. Even so, the horrifying sound wave impact still caused him to feel dizzy and numb, slowing him down. Boom! The black bear strode forward, closing the distance between it and Commander Su like a huge mountain, its enormous bare paw striking solidly onto Commander Zu's body. Even with a black spear to block some of the strike's power, Commander Su was still sent flying, with 3 broken bones in his chest and a mouthful of blood spraying out. Despicable human, die! The black bear quickly reached Commander Su, clapping its paws together to form a fist and slamming down on the retreating Commander Su. Boom! The heavens shook, and this punch unleashed endless power. Commander Su only saw darkness before his eyes, with a fierce black wind howling towards him. The terrifying power attacked like a tsunami, and he felt like a small boat on the ocean, about to be completely submerged by the tidal wave. As severely injured as he was, resisting such a horrifying onslaught seemed next to impossible. Humph! At that moment, a cold snort resounded. Transformed into lightning, Lu Yun's eyes were filled with cold light as he slashed his sword, sending out a blade aura. Clang! The blade aura, sharp to the extreme, pierced through the void and instantly landed on the black bear's back, causing a spray of blood and torn flesh. Oof! The colossal body of the black bear was blasted away, leaving behind a massive, ghastly wound on its back. Compared to the previous giant python, the flesh and blood of the black bear, also a late-stage 5th rank demonic beast, were evidently weaker. Humans are indeed despicable to sneak attack me like this. The black bear angrily raised its massive paws, causing the terrifying momentum to provoke the power of heaven and earth. Driven by the demon energy, a howling black wind enveloped the area. Lu Yun was slightly affected by the black gust in his movements. However, he remained calm. Though the black bear was faster than the giant python, it was still much slower compared to Lu Yun. Whoosh! With lightning flickering around his body, Lu Yun made several sudden movements and appeared right behind the black bear. Slash! Upon reaching the black bear's back, Lu Yun cut down with a world-shattering strike. The black bear quickly turned around, swinging its enormous paws, causing a massive surge of wind. With a rumbling sound, the shocking blade aura was shattered by one of the bear's paws, and the other paw ferociously struck towards Lu Yun. Surrounded by flickering arcs of lightning, Lu Yun's figure swiftly vanished. This human brat is so fast! Shock filled the anthropomorphic eyes of the black bear. It wasn't able to even touch the edges of Lu Yun's clothes due to its powerful and flexible, lightning-born paws, which used demon energy to manipulate the power of heaven and earth. Lu Yun was also somewhat surprised, finding that the paws of the black bear were much thicker than the python scale armor, and that it was impossible to break their defense head-on. However, through the brief contact, Lu Yun understood that the bear had honed its paws to the extreme. To hurt it, he had to break through the defenses of those paws. After realizing this, a slight curve appeared on Lu Yun's lips, his body emitting arcs of lightning. Lu Yun instantly put some distance between himself and the black bear. 100 flowers! Instantly, Lu Yun swung his long blade nearly 100 times, sending out intersecting arcs of light to slash at the black bear all at once. Despite the might of the black bear's paws, it couldn't defend itself from all the attacks. Powerful blade lights landed on the black bear's body, and numerous wounds were repeatedly inflicted, blood flowing profusely in a gruesome spectacle. Whoosh! At that instant, Lu Yun's flesh and pure yang-strong origin combined to perfection, and the speed unleashed after executing the 3,000 thunder movement experienced a massive leap, with his power increasing several times and reaching a brand new level. Lu Yun's combination of flesh and true origin was also perfected, erupting with power and speed that had leaped bounds, making him several times stronger and reaching a new level of speed. Whoosh! A shadow of thunderbolt appeared behind the bloodied black bear, followed quickly by a sword strike. Boom! The sword light condensed like water, stretching 10 zhang long and flitting across the black bear's neck. The sword light was too sharp, too powerful, completely surpassing the black bear demonic beast's defense, cutting through its thick fur, bear skin, membrane, muscle layer. All were sliced through. Uft. The enormous head soared into the air from the body, the giant eyes filled with shock and disbelief, aghast at being beheaded with a single strike. Name, Lu Yun mindset, slaughter conception, second rank 97%. Just a little bit more until the third rank. After killing the black bear, Lu Yun didn't stop. Arcs of lightning raced on the surface of his body as he merged into a thunderbolt's radiance, heading off to kill the demonic beasts in other directions. The further he went, the weaker the impact of low-level demonic beasts on his growth in slaughter conception. Lu Yun decided to target fourth rank demonic beasts. An hour later, as a late-stage fourth rank demonic beast fell, his slaughter conception progress finally changed. Slaughter conception has risen to third rank 1%. Chapter 255 is the city broken? Just as the slaughter conception advanced to the third rank within the sea of consciousness, the third petal of the blood-red lotus scat slowly bloomed. An intriguing yet bloody color, a destructive and rampant aura. The lotus seat carrying 3 petals sways enchantingly in the dim mist. Its surface wrapped in pervading killing intent easily makes one's heart tremble and sink with just one glance. Looking at the hauntingly bizarre blood-red lotus seat in the sea of consciousness, a thought emerged in Lu Yun's mind. Perhaps one day one will bring it out from the sea of consciousness and all, be it demon beasts or martial artists, will have their minds obliterated in an instant, reducing them to puppets that are only aware of slaughter. At this thought, Lu Yun's heart surged with excitement, causing his blood-red killing intent to boil, tremble like the sea and raise waves. The demon beasts around him fighting fiercely were stunned to the point of collapsing. Those lower-ranked soldiers of the Black Tiger Army, when bathed in this dense killing aura, felt their minds tremble, their blood drawn, and their vital essence and blood uncontrollably started to roll. What was even more terrifying, affected by the killing intent, their pupils turned bloody, as if they saw an endless sea of blood. In that bloody sea, bodies recoiled, resentful souls drifted, lamentations continued, and slaughter roared. The massive slaughter aura and terrifying bloody scene covered their minds, inflaming the killing intent gradually emerging from their hearts. Even the peak transforming Origin Realm Commander, upon witnessing the sight, couldn't help but feel a trace of terror and uncase. Steady your heart and mind. Guard your heart field. A roar filled with true origin suddenly resounded like a mighty bell. It exploded in the cars of the gradually succumbing Black Tiger Army soldiers, jolting them awake from the influence of the killing intent. Having awakened, the soldiers quickly withdrew from the region within a 30-feet radius of Lu Yun. The area was shrouded in blood-red killing intent, like a sea of blood. The demon beasts within it went completely mad, attacking each other indiscriminately. Witnessing all this, the faces of the Black Tiger Army grew pale. If it were not for Commander Zusroar, they might have ended up like those demon beasts, attacking each other and getting buried within the region covered by the killing intent. After the transformation of the blood-red lotus seat in the sea of consciousness was complete, Lu Yun's mind exited, and his eyes snapped open, fierce light flashing. Killing intent exploded around him, his blood chi like an enraged sea, the overwhelming power rolling forth like a storm. Transforming into lightning, the blade followed his motion. In the blood chi rolling region of 30 feet, blade lights crisscrossed. In an instant, each giant body of the demon boasts exploded with bloodlight, bodies shattering, blood spraying everywhere. Gazing at the brilliant lights and flying corpses within the realm of killing intent, the Black Tiger Army's eyes grew wide with horror. "Commander, what's happening to Lu Yun? Why has he become so terrifying and bloody?" The commander walked up to Commander Su, speaking with lingering fear. After being enveloped in the killing intent, his steel-like mind started to falter. A bloody domain appeared faintly in his eyes, and his blood started to roll uncontrollably, which was almost unforgettable. I did not expect Lu Yun to have become this powerful. He's still making breakthroughs. Such talent is simply terrifying. Commander Su said with lingering fear. At first, his blood chi only covered a region of 20-some feet and under his control. It could affect those below the 4th realm. Just then, his martial arts conception broke through again. The range of the killing intent's envelopment became wider, and the influence on the mind became stronger. Fortunately, you guys are seasoned on the battlefield, with steel-like will, which is why you didn't succumb like those demon beasts. Hearing this, the commander looked horrified and spoke hoarsely. "We are the Black Tiger Army. How dare Lu Yun do this? It would be normal to mistakenly harm in that kind of situation." Commander Su said coldly, "So, on the battlefield, what you have to do is avoid entering the fighting range of strong ones and high-ranked demon beasts as much as possible. Otherwise, you won't even understand how you died in the end." Upon hearing his words, the Black Tiger Army shivered slightly, feeling chilled to the bone. When strong ones and high-rank demon beasts fight, a slight skirmish can cause the wind and clouds to churn, but a fierce battle can move mountains and overturn the sea. The battlefield fluctuations that are produced can easily crush them into dust. Thinking of this, their gazes towards Lu Yun was full of fear, and they couldn't help but retreat further. Commander Su noticed the movements of his troops and said neutrally, "Leave this area to Lu Yun." We will move to support the battlefield in other directions. The war has been going on for several hours. Both humans and demon beasts have suffered heavy casualties, but the fighting between both sides has not reached the end and is still at a heated state. The sound of crackling. Lu Yin's figure flickered, lightning bolts surged, and blade lights slashed through. After the slaughter conception progressed to the third rank, these demon beasts had no power to resist. Just like a tree in the forest, they stood there and let him chop them. In no time at all, not a single demon beast was left alive around. Now that the slaughter conception has progressed to the third rank, killing demon beasts under the third rank is of little use. Next, I should focus on finding fourth and fifth rank demon beasts. Lu Yin's eyes glinted with a baleful red light. He then enveloped himself in lightning and ran off to another battlefield. At this time, the demon beasts had somewhat gained the upper hand in the brutal fight under the great wilderness major city. A few demon beasts had already broke through the defense of the Black Tiger army, creating an opening, and started charging towards the city walls. Chapter 256. Is the city broken? _2 charge onto the city wall and break through the great wilderness major city. A demon beast with a pig's head and a human body, nearly 10 zhang tall, held a black tiger head in each of its hands. Its formidable size and strength set it apart from the rest of the demon beasts that had broken through the Black Tiger army's defensive line. It was a 5th rank peak demon beast, and also one of the leaders of the demon beast army. Upon the order of the pig monster leader, several 5th rank demon beasts took the lead, and a large number of demon beasts rushed toward great wilderness major city in a frenzy. Swool. A streak of arrows sped across the sky, far surpassing the speed and power of heavy crossbows by dozens of times. A 5th rank demon beast tried to dodge, but still got hit in one of its arms. Though its arm didn't break off instantly, the arrow turned into extreme cold ice. Starting from the wound in its arm, the ice quickly spread in other directions. In an instant, the 5th rank demon beast's entire arm was frozen. No good. This is a human sniper. Be careful. Realizing that it had completely lost all feeling in its frozen arm, the 5th rank demon beast immediately shouted, "Be careful." The other 5th rank demon beasts also sensed it and slowed down their movements. The one who shot the arrow was Lu Wuxia, a Black Tiger army commander and their ace archer. As an ace archer, the bow and arrow were his only weapons. However, after advancing to the transforming origin realm, he was able to condense true origin into arrows, reaching the state of winning without arrows. After advancing to the origin fluid realm, he could even draw on the power of heaven and earth to significantly enhance the power of his arrows. Even the terrifying physical bodies of 5th rank demon beasts couldn't withstand his true origin arrow. Merely a human sniper. What's there to be afraid of? The pig monster leader snorted coldly and rushed out first. Swoo, 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 swoo. Lu Wuxia immediately shot one arrow after another at the pig monster, and the others set up heavy crossbows were fired one after another. However, the targets of these heavy crossbows were demon beasts of 3rd rank and below. Ding, ding, ding. The pig monster leader held a giant black tiger in each of his hands to block the arrows condensed from true origin, but was struggling to do so. Frost gathered on the axes, and the surrounding air temperature plummeted. Among those of the same rank, the attacks of ace archers were the most terrifying. Although Lu Wuxia was only in the late stage of the origin fluid realm, the power of his true origin arrow at this moment was enough to rival the peak of the origin fluid realm, forcing the pig monster leader to barely withstand it. With Lu Wuxia temporarily restraining the pig monster leader, the strong city wall and its defenders were able to hold off the demon beast army's offensive temporarily. However, soon the expressions of the defenders on the city wall changed. More demon beasts have broken through the defensive line and are coming. From their vantage point on the towering city wall, They could see a dense swarm of demon beasts filling the sky. These demon beasts were aerial types, targeting the great wilderness major city directly. As this group of flying demon beasts arrived, the morale of the demon beasts attacking the city increased dramatically. After all, the human defenders were up high on the city wall, relying on various siege defenses. It was impossible for the demon beasts to gain any advantage. Even the formidable pig monster leader was struggling under the attack of the human sniper. Qinglin, your timing is perfect. Help me deal with that human sniper. The pig monster leader shouted. You stupid pig, still need my help, huh? The green-scaled giant eagle's figure was incredibly fast, its massive body streaking through the sky, covered in a layer of green scales that shimmered brilliantly. Its sharp claws were also incredibly impressive. It moved swiftly, its wings flapping, causing ripples of green waves in the sky and turning into streams of green light as it quickly approached. This is bad. Seeing this, Lu Wuxi's expression changed. A single 5th-rank peak pig monster leader was troublesome enough, and now there was an additional 5th-rank peak green-scaled giant eagle, as well as a group of 5th-rank demon beasts. The power on the city wall was simply not enough to withstand them. If these demon beasts were to break through onto the city walls and open the city gates, countless demon beasts would flood into the Spirit Martial Prefecture, resulting in heavy casualties for the humans. Commander Lu, you just need to hold off this pig monster. It'll take care of the green-scaled giant eagle. A black-armored martial artist, looking exceptionally prestigious and highly ranked, stepped forward from behind him. He was also a commander of the Black Tiger Army, Yuyuanji. However, his strength and position were not comparable to ordinary commanders. Now, on the city wall, Yuyuanji had the highest status and the strongest power. The heavenly scaled giant halberd was swung with a ripple of golden light, completely extinguishing the oncoming blue lights. Suddenly, Yuyuanji soared out, his battle robe fluttering, his aura as imposing as a mountain. Abomination, fight me! Sharp as a sword and powerful as a rainbow, Yuyuanji's halberd swept through the air with a wave of golden light, engaging the green-scaled giant eagle in fierce combat. The sky was enveloped in gold and green lights. Hold them back. Don't let those flying demon beasts reach the city walls, or we'll face endless trouble. At this moment, the other Black Tiger Army commanders roared in fury, their faces twisted in anger, urging the dumbstruck soldiers. Ignore those running on the ground for now, and shoot down all the flying beasts in the sky. Hurry, and don't stand there doing nothing. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Aside from Lu Wuxia, there were 3 other expert archers, but they were in the transforming origin realm, and their arrows had no effect on the 5th-rank demon beasts. However, they posed a great threat to the 4th-rank demon beasts. Under the cooperation of these 3 expert archers, numerous flying demon beasts were killed in quick succession. In the blink of an eye, over 30 flying beasts had been killed by their true origin arrows, the weakest of which were ranked 3rd rank, and 5 of them were 4th rank. However, they were unable to harm the numerous 5th-rank flying beasts that quickly approached from the sky, including the green-scaled giant eagle, a 5th-rank peak demon beast. The heavy crossbows could only do so much more. Soon, one after another, the flying beasts began landing on the city walls. Hee hee hee! Our army has finally shown its usefulness. As long as we break down these city walls, an endless amount of human flesh and blood will be served up for us to feast on. A 5th-rank mid-stage giant bird landed on the city wall, flapping its wings to block the incoming attacks. Then, with a violent swoop, it seized a Black Tiger Army commander with its talons, tearing off one of his arms and swallowing it into its beak. Ha ha ha! Humans truly are the favorites of heaven and earth. Not only are they delicious, but the essence within their flesh is comparable to that of spirit herbs. The giant red bird laughed loudly, savoring the taste of the commander held in its talons as it ate the entire body. You dare to kill my men, you abomination! Come and pay with your life." A one-armed commander charged into the fray, his black spear striking like a flood dragon breaking through the water. The sudden spear strike caused the red bird to panic. It tried to fend off the attack with its scaled wings, only to have them pierced by the terrifying spear force. Immediately after, numerous spear shadows erupted, filling the entire area and reflecting in the red bird's eyes, making it impossible to distinguish the real attack from the illusions. Taken by surprise and lacking adequate defense, the red bird was horrified by the powerful attack and lost its bearings. Spurt! As the flood, dragon-like spear surged through the air, it tore through the red bird's wings and pierced its chest, leaving a massive bloody hole. The one-armed commander was Wang Yinghu. After securing Cloudwater County with his thousands of Black Tiger Army soldiers, Wang had led the remnants of the army to hurriedly reinforce Great Wilderness Major City, which was in grave danger. In less than 2 days' time since he had reported to the camp, Wang had fought in 3 intense battles, exhausting his true origin in every encounter. For martial artists in the origin fluid realm to recover their peak state, it would take at least half a day. If it weren't for timely logistic support and an ample supply of pills, one wouldn't have been able to sustain such frequent and violent battles. In the previous fight, just last night, Wang had lost his left arm due to the intense battle. However, fortune often favors the unfortunate, as Wang used the injury as an opportunity to break through and advance to the late stage of the origin fluid realm. Not only did his strength not weaken, but it also grew even stronger. Soaring Dragon Strike. The black spear light was incomparably sharp, tearing through the void as if piercing through everything. The sound of metal clashing produced a painful chill in those who heard it. If you want my life, then don't blame me for taking you down with me. The red giant bird's eyes flashed with fierce light as its beak opened and spewed forth a flaming red ball of light. As the ball swelled, it unleashed intense heat and blazing flames that spread out and burned everything in its path. Spurt! Atop the city wall, the unstoppable black spear pierced through the void, causing the highly charged fireball to explode. Endless flames splashed in all directions, starting countless fires. Soon, the whole place was engulfed in flames and smoke. Chapter 257. The cunning and treacherous golden roar as the flying monsters overwhelmed the city walls. The previously barely holding situation was finally broken. We can't hold them off anymore. The 3 transforming Origin Realm archers went berserk, killing one monster after another. However, there were just too many of them, and it was impossible to eliminate them all, especially since the 4th rank monsters were not that easy to kill. Once all the monsters were on the walls, their effectiveness as archers would be greatly reduced. Seeing the countless monsters climbing the walls, the defense pressure of the Black Tiger Army increased, and they felt desperate. Could they really defend the city against so many monsters with their capabilities alone? Why are so many monsters coming? Can't the Black Tiger Army outside the city hold them off? Lu Wuxia felt hopeless too. The true origin arrows he shot had a huge power, and even the 5th rank peak monsters could be injured. But it also took a great toll on Lu Wuxi's energy. Merely shooting a dozen arrows, half of Lu Wuxi's true origin energy inside his body had been depleted. But the pig monster who had a human body and a pig head received no damage. It wielded its double axes and blocked all his arrows. Critically, several flying monsters, including numerous 5th rank monsters, had already reached the city walls, massacring the Black Tiger Army soldiers and destroying the heavy crossbows and defense equipment. In addition, 7 5th rank monsters among the beast horde had also climbed the city walls, joining the attack on Lu Wuxia. As a divine archer, Lu Wuxia was unmatched in long-range combat within his rank, but not so in close combat. If I continue to hold off the pig monster, I won't be able to get away. With glinting eyes and a made-up mind, Lu Wuxia made his decision and swiftly vanished from where he stood. As an archer, Although he didn't possess the strongest speed among his peers, he was definitely in the group of the fastest ones, as he quickly put distance between himself and the monsters surrounding him. He stood tall, his body tensing as he gathered strength. He opened his 5 fingers, placing them on the bowstring. A silvery moon-like longbow appeared, charged with true origin energy that surged forth and materialized a silver-white arrow out of thin air. Whoosh! Whoosh! As the true origin arrows were condensed, the air temperature around him plummeted. Hiss! An arrow shot out, tearing through the air with a force like a frigid flash of light. The arrow's speed was truly unthinkable. Boom! The explosive force pierced through a 5th rank monster and continued through a 4th rank, one behind it. Where the ice-cold arrows fell, the temperature plunged, and within dozens of feet around, everything turned into a frozen wasteland. All low-level monsters who couldn't escape in time were turned into ice sculptures. One arrow killed one 5th rank early-stage monster and compelled another to retreat. The terrifying scene captured the attention of the other monsters. What a terrifying archer! We cannot let him continue to shoot. The pig monster charged wildly, leaped through the sky like a storm, and landed on the walls dozens of feet high. Rumble! The pig monster's enormous figure shook the ground and shattered the bricks. Even the surrounding air churned violently, roaring like a surging river. With a double axe in hand and shrouded in demon energy, the pig monster looked like a fearsome giant demon, its eyes glowing eerily. Humph! Once I get closer to you, it'll tear you to pieces. The pig monster darted along the walls, stirring up a fierce wind, and the nearby monsters and Black Tiger army soldiers were blown away by the force of its run. It's coming for me. Lu Wuxi sensed danger instinctively and was alerted when the pig monster leaped onto the city wall. Seeing it rapidly approaching him, he unleashed his powerful true origin energy, and his silver light flickered. The cold light in his eyes shimmered as he promptly changed direction and shot at the pig monster without hesitation. Hiss! His arrow split into 3 icy light beams, each as powerful as the previous ones. The pig monster sensed the threat and changed course to dodge the chilling attack. However, the 3 ice arrows seemed to have a life of their own, changing direction as the pig monster shifted, as if they wouldn't be satisfied until they hit their target. It's so hard to deal with. The pig monster, unable to shake off the arrows, was both annoyed and angered. Violent emotions surged in its heart. Roar! As it roared, its body grew even larger, and the axes it held grew with it as well. As the monster's body enlarged, its agility declined, but its strength increased. It shielded itself with its axes to block the incoming arrows. Rumble! 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 All 3 icy arrows struck the axes, causing the pig monster to stagger back while frost formed all around it, leaving a trail of icy terrain in its wake. Seizing the opportunity, Lu Wuxia rapidly took out a glossy pill filled with transforming origin energy and consumed it. It was a 5th grade pill called the True Origin Pill. Although less precious than the Origin Extreme Pill, it allowed Lu Wuxia to quickly restore almost 30% of his depleted true origin energy after consumption. Huff, huff, huff. One struggling to block the 3 previous arrows, the pig monster gasped for breath, but its giant eyes were filled with excitement. He has started to take pills. It seems like he cannot shoot that powerful attack continuously. After consuming the pill, Lu Wuxi's body flickered silver, and he employed swift movements to evade the monster. He had just used the trifecta streamlight, which he could only use 3 times even in his peak state. Despite such a powerful attack, the pig monster managed to block it, revealing its formidable strength. With his body heavily drained of true origin energy, Lu Wuxia dared not delay further and could only retreat.